Hey everybody, we're just live here at the Build on Base Build in Public event. We're just counting down to the game night 3. So that'll be the first event here of the night, and then we'll kick it over to the Build in Public. So just getting started with the game night 3 in about 20 seconds here, and then we'll kind of sign off and let that kind of roll through, and we'll see you guys in Build in Public.
Yeah, we're excited for everyone to join us, and should be awesome Build in Public this go around, and it's a blessing to definitely be a part of this event with everybody. So
Hey everyone, thanks for spending some time with us today. Welcome to our third base game night session. This one's extra special as it's our very first community-wide base virtual event broadcasted directly on the Build on Base account. If it's your first time tuning in, this is a community-wide virtual event hosted by Zach Prater, and today we've got 4 incredible projects lined up to showcase their work, share insights, and dive into onchain gaming on base. Expect some demos, discussions, and a live Q&A featuring builders pushing the space forward. Come hang out and explore the world of onchain gaming while connecting with fellow base gamers. Before we jump in, a quick disclaimer. Today's conversation is for informational and educational purposes only. It does not constitute investment or legal advice. The views expressed here are our own and do not represent Base or Coinbase. Nothing shared here should be considered an endorsement by us, Base or Coinbase. And thank you. All right, let's get it. Super excited to see what's cooking. Passing it over to Zach to get us started.
Thank you. Thank you for putting this together, and I'm hyped to bring up one of our first presenters. Iggy, thank you so much for joining the call, Ghost Festival. I've been a fan of your game. I've seen you all over Twitter, and I'm in your Discord as well. Can you present us a little bit about Ghost Festival and tell us about your game?
Yes, sure. Let me share my screen here real quick. Let me know when you see it full screen.
Yeah, it works. Perfect.
Yes. Hi, everybody. This is Iggy from Ghost Festival. We are looking at a situation where we have over 2 billion people playing casual mobile games on a regular basis. But what we're thinking, like, what can we do to bring them on chain? So what we're thinking is our proposal is we want to make it easy for people to onboard on chain. So we want to make easy to use experiences, but it only works when it's also as engaging or more than their Web2 counterparts. We also think that Web3 is very special because it offers ownerships and incentives. Ghost Festival has, there's this big debate of right now of what should be Web3 and what should be Web2 in a game. So we think it first, at the core, it boils down to true ownership with rewards. So our Gen 1 NFTs were free mint, airdropped to over 200 communities on base. In the future, we want to make it to be able to be upgradable, fusible, and that you can lend them out in the future. We want to have our reward system as a rank to earn, and that we want to bring more of the Web2 infrastructure into converted into Web3. For the gameplay, when you have your NFT, you have 2 items. You have the ghost and the hammer into one, and then when you connect your wallet into the game, these items will be enabled. We have just been approved by the Apple App Store and Google Play, so we're planning to release soon. And I think I have to share my screen again to share the video of the gameplay. So just a little moment here. Oh, hello. I need to present the tab.
I love the focus on mobile itself. I think that you're right. Whenever it comes to, onboarding the next billion users, we really have to go to where they are. And some of the biggest categories of active gamers is mobile. And I love the focus on that. Congratulations on being on the App Store.
Yeah, thanks a lot. Yeah, it's been a ride with them. So this is a little bit of the gameplay. I think that's what we came here for.
Ghost Festival, closed beta info. Here's what you need to know about Ghost Festival, the casual on-chain mobile game that is bound to shake up the base ecosystem. 1. Load up your on-chain items. A Ghost Festival Gen 1 NFT will be required to play the closed beta. After minting one or grabbing one from the marketplace, all you need to do is connect your wallet, and the items in the NFTs will be enabled in-game. 2. Whack-a-haunt. Now, all you have to do is start playing. The goal is to get as far as you can while accumulating as many tickets as possible. The haunts will attack you back if you take too long to whack them. Try to avoid bombs as much as possible. 3. Earn tickets. The leaderboards track your total tickets. Rank up for future on-chain rewards. Each new event resets the leaderboards. Increase your quest levels, progress, and difficulty, and earn more tickets. 4. Collect.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. We are looking forward to connecting with gamers on base. You can DM us at GhostFastGame on X, and thanks for the base game night for the opportunity of inviting us.
Of course. Thank you for building on base. That's it. It's amazing thinking that we're coming together as a collective to bring the next billion users fully on chain. If you're open to it, I'd love to ask you a few questions. What's the reason behind the focus on mobile itself? Are you a big mobile gamer?
Yeah, I think that if we want to bring 1 billion users on chain, we can start with where they are. And if we have over 2 billion users actively playing mobile games, and there's already a channel of distribution already there, I think that's a kind of a low-hanging fruit. Of course, it's going to be a huge collective effort. I think we're more like we're more like a movement. The way I see it is like all of the games that are building on chain right now, especially on base, are trying to bring players on chain, and we're all trying to do it together. So
I love it. I love it. And you said that you did a pre-mint with over 200 base communities. Did I get that right?
Yeah, we had over 200 signed up communities for our drop.
Wow, that's amazing. I love your focus on not only bringing users in, but bringing them in for free itself. How'd the airdrop go?
It went pretty smooth. It's people are happy, and we have a lot of players. So if you want to play, or if you have any questions, please join our Discord.
Yeah, so is Discord the best community for people to reach out to you?
Yeah, if you have any specific questions, you can DM us on X, but also our Discord is pretty active. So
I love it. And for the different base projects that are even here in this call, how can the base ecosystem collaborate with you in your game?
That's I'm actually a little bit I think it would be on a case-to-case basis. But feel free to reach out. I'm starting to see more projects that I didn't see before, that I didn't know. I don't know too many yet, but please feel free to reach out, and we can find something.
I love it. And feel free to shout out your socials before we hand it over to the next presenter. I know you did that already, but let's just close it. And what do you want to shout out?
Yeah, I'm not sure if I can write anywhere here, but yeah, it's just Ghost Fest game, just on X.
I love it. I love it. And make sure to join the space after. Share links in the call itself for us to bring on stage. We have over 1,100 viewers, so it's pretty good distribution. Thank you so much for coming.
Yeah, thank you, Zach, and thank you, team.
Next is Noah. How you doing, my guy?
Hey, thanks for having me.
Of course. Thank you for coming. So I've loved your game for a while. I first played it on Farcaster, and I think it's really cool. Not only how you built your game, but the premise of your game, and just how everything works. I feel everything is tied together within a beautiful economy. So to not ruin it for the viewers, I'll let you present your screen and take it away.
Thanks, appreciate that. Yeah, so I'm the founder of Stokefire. I think Stokefire went live around 6 months ago, and it's an on-chain game, all built on Base, of course. And it's an idle casual mobile kind of strategy game. And so kind of the goal is that you would play this game from your phone, maybe about 5 minutes a day, but you're playing it over a long period of time. And the whole goal, kind of as you can see on my screen, the whole goal is to grow your village. And what that looks like is trying to make your population as big as possible, and you're trying to grow your village count over time. So right here, we're looking at my village, and you can see in the top here, I have 1,380 villagers. And then my score is 1,573. And so how you grow your village is you have to get resources. You have to get wood and food, wood to build huts. We need huts to be able to house villagers. The more huts we have, the more villagers that can move into our village. And, your villagers want to be happy. So it's like, you got to feed your villagers. And so at every 3 days, you are required to stoke the fire. So this is kind of where the name of the game comes. Your villagers like to be warm, they like to have that fire. And so you got to keep stoking it, or they're going to get upset. Some of them are going to die. It's a whole problem. So you got to stoke the fire at the end of at least every 3 days. And stoking the fire is also kind of like a checkpoint. This is when your villagers need to eat. Each villager eats one food. And it's also when new villagers will join your village. If you have a surplus of food and you have extra hut space, a hut capacity for villagers to move in, they'll then move in when you stoke the fire. And so that's how you're going to grow your village. And so you can see I have 23 hours left to stoke the fire. So I got some time. We have 912 food. So I need to get that up by that time of stoking, because otherwise I'd lose villagers, because I got 1,380 hungry villagers that I need to feed. So there's some ways to do this, right? So you can see right now, I have 511 villagers that are allocated to logging for me. So every hour they're producing 21 wood for me. And I have some villagers that are farming. They are getting 36 food every hour. And so that's kind of what it then looks like, is you're like managing your village. You're telling your villagers what to do. You're kind of saying, hey, go do this, go get me some food, things like that. And then once you have enough resources, you can buy some more huts, you can build more lumber camps, more farms, so you can automate more things. So let's just show, like right here real quick. Let's move all my villagers out of the logging camps. And this is a transaction on Base. Like I said, everything's on Base. See, my villagers are happy. They kind of give me a little dance. And with those villagers, I now have 511 unused villagers. Let's send them chopping. And this will give me some wood right away, because they're going to go chop some wood. But then they are then used up. So you'll see there's like this cooldown with a countdown. So for 6 hours, I can't use those villagers. They're busy. They're chopping the wood. But I do already have some wood from what they just went and did. And so if I got enough wood, I could go, build something. And so that's kind of the basics of the single player version of Stokefire, or part of the game, where you're just trying to grow your village, add villagers to it. But then this is a multiplayer kind of experience, like we are on chain. There's other villages on chain. So if you go to the relations tab, you can see these are 10 other villages that are also building their village. I can click on one of these and I can go see what their village is. I can go see what they've been doing. Here's their recent activity on chain. You can see I had rated them, which I'm about to talk about, but I can see their resources. I can see how much rewards they've gotten, things like that. So every 6 hours, you can raid someone else's village and try to steal their food or their wood. And every 6 hours, someone can try to steal your resources. So we're kind of competing. I'm competing with this neighborhood. And so I'm going to set up my defense. So there's a little bit of strategy to this of I'm going to decide if I'm going to defend food or wood, and a raider is going to decide if they think what I'm defending. If they pick the thing I'm not defending, they'll then win and steal some of my resources. But if they choose something that I am defending, then they I forget what I said, but then I would potentially win. It goes the other way. So at this point, I mean, I'm kind of hurting myself because I'm doing this live. I'm going to defend food. And so if anyone tries to steal my food, I will then win. But since I'm doing this public, if someone, one of my neighbors is on here, they'll be able to easily steal my wood from me, but that's okay. So yeah, now I'm defending food. And the cool thing about this is a secret. Like, this is a secret on chain. So I just defended food on chain, but it's no one else knows it is. Only I know what it is. So once someone raids me, I will then have to come back, reveal the results, and it will play out as it should. So this is kind of part of the multiplayer part. We have a leaderboard, so you can see some of the top villages and kind of dive into them and see what they're doing. You're also competing every week. So this is something we added maybe a month ago, where there's now this weekly battle where I'm competing against my neighbors, and we're all just competing for who's growing the most that week. So if you gain the most villagers in that week, you'll then get the top spot in your neighborhood, which will then give you a boost of score, which potentially could mean more rewards for you that following week. So yeah, this is kind of the gist of the game. It's kind of cool. You can go over here and see the activity on chain of what's happening every few seconds. We've got people doing stuff. We also have a dashboard on Dune where you can see the live data on chain. So we've got over 1,000 villages that are active right now. So that, that is 1,000 players. It's possible that there could be players that have multiple accounts potentially, but each account is a Farcaster account. So you have to sign in currently with your Farcaster account to play the game. So this is how many villages we have going on. It kind of shows some data about rewards, which I haven't explained really how that works, and I can if we want to get into that. But just some other cool stats people can go check on here of what's been going on chain, which is kind of cool to take a look at. But right now, Stokefire it's a PWA, so you can put it onto your mobile phone. You can go to app.stokefire.xyz and play it in your desktop like I am right here. Or just this last week, we added a mini app within Warpcast. So you can play it within Warpcast, and it has, all the notifications going off in Warpcast, which is kind of cool because it's meant to be a social game. Everybody you see here is a Farcaster account, and they're connected to their social graph. And so we have plans for more ways to make the game even more social and fun, and just interacting with, other people on chain on the Farcaster social graph. So yeah, that's pretty much the gist of Stokefire. The community and I have had a lot of fun keeping our fires going and stoking the fire. So thanks for letting me share about it.
Of course. I love it. So I'm gonna have a few questions. I hope that's fine.
Yeah.
I played the game, and obviously I need some hints. Do you have any advice for new users that are coming to play the game?
Yeah, I mean, so there is some strategy to it. Obviously, it is a strategy game. A couple of kind of tips I would say is you want to stoke the fire kind of as late as possible, because, like I said, every time you stoke the fire, it's like that checkpoint where your villagers are going to eat. So that means if you're stoking more often, they're going to be eating more food than really what you needed to go out and get. So the later you can stoke, the better. Now, the warning there is, like, if you let your fire go out, your village, your fire then burns out, and you have to pay a fee to revive it and get your village back. So you don't want that to happen. You gotta keep it stoking. So there's that. People have different strategies on when they're gathering food versus wood, and you kind of have to be smart about thinking about what your neighbors are going to try to steal from you, and the way you're kind of showing your village is going to maybe give them a hint to like what you're trying to protect. And so sometimes you want to catch them off guard so that then you win, you'll get more resources that will help you in growing your village. The other thing is like some of these things you see that I have, like lumber camps, farms, those you only unlock once you've gotten your village so big. So like I have a decently sized village with over 1,000 villagers. You start out with 0 villagers. So you kind of slowly get up to speed, where in the beginning you can only gather food every 3 hours. You can chop wood every 6 hours. Where now, once you have lots of villagers, you can then allocate villagers. So it kind of gets a little bit more complex as you go. But yeah, I'm trying to think of any other good tips that I can share. I mean, it's funny because it's kind of like something you're doing throughout your day, right? So you kind of have to have a strategy with what works for you within your day. So if something a lot of people do is they'll put all of their villagers towards one resource and go all for that, and maybe they'll defend that during that period, and then they'll switch to go all for the other resource and defend that resource. And a lot of times people will chop wood during their nighttime because your villagers are on cooldown for 6 hours, where for food it's 3 hours. So you get more, I guess, a little more juice out of your villagers chopping overnight when you're asleep. And there are people that are crazy enough that have change their sleeping hours according to this game, where they're getting up in the middle of the night to allocate their villagers to something, which, if you want to go hardcore, you can go for that, but I don't recommend it.
As a founder, how's your reaction whenever you hear people are changing their sleeping schedules just for your game? Like you're making a daily impact on people.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of felt bad a little bit because I don't want to mess up people's sleep schedules. And that's actually partially why I added lumber camps and farming, because this is over time. So when you allocate your villagers to this, it's just slowly over time, you'll be getting resources, where in the early game, you are potentially, doing that if you want to do really well, because chopping wood and gathering food is more time-based, of you allocate them and then there's a cooldown. So yeah, I kind of responded to that with creating some more features to help make people not have to do that.
That's so funny. That's so crazy. So, like a few closing questions, but one question that's been kind of on my brain for a while. How did you come up with the concept for all of this? All of it seems extremely time-based. It seems like it's perfect for bringing in daily active users who you have to come back, stoke your fire, manage your village, make sure your village doesn't die. I think it's the perfect game that I've seen for bringing in daily active people. So, how long did it take you to come up with this idea, and how did you build it?
Yeah, so I mean, I think I was starting to get inspired a little, almost a year ago now. And one of the games that really inspired me on base that you probably have seen and heard of is Friend Pet. So Friend Pet has some similar economics. It's also a game that you're kind of an idle game where you're coming back to. And I really liked a lot of the things they were doing. So that gave me some ideas. And then really I took a lot of the other inspiration, just looking back to what were, some of my favorite games growing up, and even some games I enjoy every once in a while now, like Age of Empires 2, Civilization 5, kind of like these civilization building games. And it made me want to build something like that, like see what was possible to build on chain that had some similarities to that, and some strategy, because I enjoy strategy games. So that's kind of where the ideas kind of came from. And, I just wanted to build an app that's, that kind of like pushed the space forward on chain in gaming, and just like see what's possible. And it seemed like this kind of format with like an idle game, where you're slowly making strategic decisions over time on chain, was kind of the best fit for an on chain game that's completely on chain. And so, yeah, that's kind of where the ideas kind of came. And as far as building it, launched the first version like 7-ish months ago, and it wasn't as complex. It didn't have as many features and things as it does now. It was just a couple, it was just like chopping wood and gathering food, and that was it. And so kind of just started with that, got some players to give feedback, learning from the players in the community, and just have been slowly kind of building it publicly over time and just sharing what I do so that I can get feedback from, just how players are enjoying it and stuff like that.
But it's an easy game to enjoy, and I love the total amount of dedication you put in. So how can the community find your game? How can they play your game? They've learned tips on how to get started. So where can they go to start playing?
Yeah, so you can just go to stokefire.xyz. There's our website. You'll see a button to start playing. Currently, since you do have to sign in through Farcaster, you do need a Farcaster account. And there's this thing in Farcaster called Nanar score. It's kind of just a way to try to not let tons of bots jump into the game. So you have to have a Nanar score of 0.55 or higher, or you can be invited by a current player. So if a current player invites you because you haven't been on Farcaster much, that's like one way you can get in. Otherwise, if you have a Farcaster account and have been active on there, you'll probably have a high enough score to just start playing right away. That's where you can play it. And I'm always sharing on Twitter, Stokefire _XYZ is our Twitter handle, and then I'm also on Farcaster. So
I like it. Well, you've built a beautiful game. You've built something that I personally love, and you've given a lot of rewards out to your users as well. Thank you so much for tuning into the space and showing us, like the amazingness that is Stokefire.
Thanks, appreciate that.
All right, to bring up our next one. Howdy.
Hey Zach, how's it going?
It's going good. How's it going for you?
Going great. Thank you so much for having me here today.
Of course, thank you for joining. And we just had a Farcaster game, and now we're going to the next Farcaster game. I have to admit, something that stood out to me about Farville is frankly seeing a lot of the base people go back and forth on the competition. Like seeing everybody fight for that leaderboard, I think is hilarious, and I love it. Feel free to share your screen, and I'll let you take over the demo of the game.
100%. Yeah, and then indeed, I also really enjoy seeing this competition that you mentioned, and I'm feeling it with my friends, but I also love other group of friends and even companies, as you mentioned, like base people playing it, competing with each other. So as you already mentioned, Farville is a Farcaster native game. So it's a Farcaster mini app. You can access it from the WordCast mini app section. And it's clearly inspired to Farmville. So as you can see, I have my farm here. I have a set of grid. In this case, it's like a 6x6 grid because I'm pretty advanced in the game, but you start with a 2x2. Once your crops are ready, you can harvest them and you earn experience. So the goal of the game, of course, is to plant crops, harvest them, earn experience, complete quests, and climb the leaderboard. So here below, you can see a bar of all my seeds and even some perks that I can use to boost their speed. So let's say that I want to plant some carrots. I click here and I'm planting new carrots. Each crop, there are 11 type of crops, have different time to grow. So for example, the corn is taking 12 hours. We have also the eggplant taking 15 hours. They give different not only different growth time, but also different experience when you harvest them, as well as more coins whenever you sell them in the market, because then the end goal is that you plant these crops, you go to the market, and you're able to sell whatever you harvest. So in this case, I have a ton of carrots and I can sell carrots for 8 coins. So let me sell 5 carrots in this case. My coins are upgrading, and then with these coins, I can either buy new seeds, so I can buy carrots, wet seeds, radish seeds, pumpkin seeds. I did not yet unlock them because they are for level 14. But then the other cool thing is that you can also buy perks. These perks are some kind of fertilizers that can help you boosting the growth time for different type of crops. So we have the nitrogen for the low tier of crops, we have potassium for the medium tier, and phosphorus for the high tier. And then if you're lucky, you also have some fertilizers that I will show. They basically apply on every type of crop, and they make it grow instantly. So I'm just selected the fertilizer, and boom, this is ready to harvest. Otherwise, I can like simply speed up, using my potassium. As you can see, like it's speeding up the growth time of my crop. So again, like the goal is to earn experience. Every time you go to a new level, you get some rewards, you unlock new perks, new stuff, and there's a leaderboard. First of all, there's a global leaderboard, so there are people playing this game for 2 months now, and it's unbelievable to see how many experience they've been able to achieve. You have a leaderboard for experience, but also a leaderboard for completed quests, and I will get to quests later. You also have a leaderboard with your friends, so these are all the people that I'm following on Farcaster, and I'm competing with them on this leaderboard. So yeah, I'm pretty down low because I'm heads down building, so not really playing so much in a competitive way, let's say. So I'm 27 on my friend's leaderboard, but I'll catch up soon. Regarding quests, you have daily quests generated for you every day, and quests can be things to harvest, things to plant, things to sell in the market, but also things that ask you to let's say receive donations for certain crops or items, but as well like donate to other players. You also have like the same quest on a weekly basis with more experience and rewards. And the cool thing is that being this game on Farcaster, again, like the leaderboards are like very social, so the game is very tied to your social graph. Something that I didn't mention about the leaderboards is that we recently introduced these weekly leaderboards. I'm currently in the Iron League, so from level 10 to 14, and I'm not competing, of course, because I'm playing, but I'm building it. But there are people that are competing on a weekly basis for a set of like rewards that they will get at the end. In the case of the Gold League, for example, the first player of the week will win 8 USDC, the second one 6 USDC. So we're also trying to engage player with more competition than we've seen before. But that's cool to show, yeah. So as I told you, it's possible to request things in the game. So let's say that I want some carrot seeds. I can click on request, and I'm 6 carrot seeds. Creating a request, sharing it. Yes, you should still be able to see my screen, and maybe let's go to the channel so that you can see it. So on the Farville channel on Farcaster, you can see a bunch of people posting their requests. So Yusser is looking for 1 carrot seed. If I click on this, I can like try donate to him. Somebody already donated and fulfilled this request. It's usually it takes like seconds, and it's unbelievable to see how fast people are actually fulfilling this request. But it's very social, the way in which they engage with each other. So that we have also a group chat on WordCast where people are sharing their requests to complete the quest. There are people, as you can see, that are sharing their leaderboard position. For example, Leo Clark is 4th on his friend's leaderboard, competing with Piki and Tatianza. So it's very like embedded in the social experience, and that's also something that has been helping us a lot in bringing more players in the game. And the last thing that I wanted to show is that we also have kind of a sort of single player mode where as a farmer you can achieve some harvest honors. So for example, I'm going for the carrot quest in this case, so I'm trying to become a really like a carrot master, and as soon as I achieve all these carrots harvested, I will unlock this badge that I will be able to mint on base as an NFT reward, and this goes for every crop. So there are people that are farming pumpkins. So today I believe there was the first person unlocking the pumpkin pie badge. But there are also people going for the gold crops. So what are gold crops? Every time you are harvesting a crop, there's one chance over 100,000 that you harvest a gold crop. So and you can see described here. Every time you increase your honor achievement with a specific crop, your chance to harvest a gold crop, in this case a gold carrot, increase. And that goes as well in the collectible side of things, which of course will be an NFT on base. I guess that's pretty much it. I'm really excited about these weekly leaderboards that we just introduced, because they were launched on Monday. So next Monday we'll see who will be the best players of the week, and excited to see how this will evolve more the competition in the game. Thank you so much for your attention, guys.
Of course, and I have to admit, we have a plethora of people in the chat that are competing for this. I think it's amazing. If you're able to see some of the questions, just look at this. Watch and learn. I love it. The actual showcase of how core the community is that played this game. So for everybody playing, same thing as Stokefire. Do you have any tips and trips for people that are just starting out playing this on how they can grow, not only on the leaderboard, but just how they can grow in general?
Yeah, definitely. So one thing that I didn't mention that is also related to this question is our daily streaks. So if you show up every day, much as like on Duolingo, you have some rewards, and this is of course like super helpful for new players, because you can easily get some crops or new seeds to sell in the market, and buy more seeds to plant or more perks to advance your growing crops. The other thing that I can mention is quests. So quests, I think, are very undervalued, can I say, or like somehow like people care more, for what I've been seeing, like to plant just pumpkins. So pumpkins, unfortunately I cannot show you here, but if you click on every seed, you can see how much time they take, how much experience, and how much they cost, and how much you can sell them for. And so you can pretty much come up with a strategy. And a lot of people early in the game especially, they tend to focus on planting, I don't know, pumpkins, or I see a lot of people planting potatoes, while I think that the best strategy is actually to work on quests. If you work on quests, especially on the weekly quests, you can really go on the leaderboard. And again, like the leaderboard right now, in the case of even the wood one, like the first, the smallest or the low tier leaderboard, it gives you a lot of rewards. Like if you're a level 5 player and you get 20 pumpkin seeds, I think it's huge. It's a huge boost for your game, and it helps you like growing faster later on. So my best suggestion for new players, follow up these quests on a daily and weekly basis, and you will be able to grow faster.
I love it. And so I know that this game is basically mostly on Farcaster. Where can people connect with you to actually see updates on the game and what you're working on?
Yeah, connect with me on Farcaster. I mean, I also we also share about Farville on Twitter, but again, there's Farville channel on Farcaster where we post all the announcement. For example, my team member here, Kazo, announced the weekly leagues 4 days ago. But you can also follow here the community. Statuette, for example. Let's see if I can donate you. Already fulfilled. You see, like 4 minutes ago, it was posted and it's already fulfilled. But on this channel, we post every important announcement, even this one by Mide. So and as well as like updates around the game. How is it going? Like this is a post that I've been doing today about like the active users that we have that are increasing, and we're like very happy to see that. So you can find us on Farcaster. If you can't find the channel, just type farville.farm on your browser and it will redirect you here. So yeah, I mean, it's a Farcaster mini app, so you are required to have a Farcaster account to play the game right now.
I love it. I love what you built, and I love the culture around the game itself. I see a lot of core native-based people that not only play this game, but call out other people that they're beating on their leaderboard. I think you built something amazing, and thank you so much for building on base.
Pleasure, really pleasure, and I'm so happy to see all this engagement. Honestly, like we couldn't even imagine anything like this when we started building Farville, but I'm so happy to see that it's taking over and it's getting people addicted in the end. Even I have some non-crypto friends that I've been able to onboard on Farcaster and Base just because of this game, and now they open the app on a daily basis. So really happy about the impact, and really happy about the support we're getting from the Base team from both like an ecosystem but also player perspective.
No, you're feeding the ecosystem if you think about it. Well, thank you so much for joining the call. Everybody go find Farville on Farcaster, find lemon.eth on Twitter, and thank you so much.
Thank you again, Zach.
Of course. Real quick for all of our listeners, make sure to type your questions for all presenters in the chat. We'll be having a Q&A portion at the end of the call. So if you have any questions for either Ghost Protocol or Stokefire or even Farville or our next presenter, make sure to type them in chat and we'll be addressing them later. Now to bring up our last presenters. Howdy, guys. Thank you all for joining.
Hey, thanks for having us, Zach.
How you doing?
Yeah, so for everybody that's that's tuning in from Twitter, that's not a real dog, although it's very convincing. It's very convincing.
Yes, very convincing. Yeah, this is my metaverse self right now.
And your metaverse self, and I mean, you're presenting a metaverse. Thank you so much, and I'll mute myself and let you take it away.
Yeah, so I'm really pleased to present kind of our work in progress build in public for Clankercon 2025. Yeah, and shout out to Statuette in the chat, who's always out here supporting creator and builder initiatives on base. Really love her. And if you want to come and join this space here that we're all kind of like walking around in, this is actually live. What we do is with build in public for Clankercon, we are just letting people join every iteration of the space live as we push them out. So there's a lot of work that has not been published right now that like we actually can't show because we're kind of in progress with a lot of sponsors. But like the main work that you can see right now that we wanted to kind of show off and get started with is the base gas station that we added to our build in public last week. So we actually kind of added this live and showed off kind of the process of going through and adding some products to the convenience store inside. So we added the Doge Kari sweat, which is a parody of Pocari Sweat, the Japanese water drink. So this is something that if you watched our stream last week, you could actually learn how to, retexture an object in Unity, how to publish it, and then how to create a power-up. So if I drink this now, low gravity is enabled, and I've also got super speed. So I'm able to kind of really book it across the environment for the next 5 minutes or so. And yeah, there's a little challenge that we had last week where anyone who was watching the stream, if you were hunting around the environment and you're watching kind of what we were building, you kind of get an idea of like where to find this thing. And if you jump really far over here and you look out here, oh, someone actually already got it. There's a base coin that was out here, and if they got it, they got a prize. So there was like a little token. If they jumped out, they would have seen it floating up here. But the only way to get it is to go and get that power up at the gas station that we added during the stream, and to go and jump out here and to grab that. So little fun things that we just do while we're building in public, like we're adding little gamification elements and little games to Clankercon as we're building, and then I'll kind of let Jordan from Base Farcast explain the whole overview of Clankercon, because it's much bigger than just kind of what you're seeing here. This is the very beginning of something very large.
Yeah, thank you, Ryan. So you may be asking yourself, like, what is Clankercon? Look at this amazing environment. Like, what am I going to be able to do here? What's happening? And basically, so a little bit of my background, I've actually run massive metaverse events for different projects. My last one I did for Polygon. We had about 16,000 people there, $500,000 in giveaways, 170 plus projects that were involved with panels and AMAs and keynotes and all these different things. And the cool thing about metaverse events is that it's limited to your imagination, right? You can have dragons flying around, you can do anything that you want. And so you can build these massive gamified stories, kind of like a massive multiplayer online RPG, but then put all those elements of a conference together. So everybody around the world can come and just have a great time, right? Like with IRL events, you have to pay for a plane ticket. You have to get the lodging, pay for food. And, we have so many amazing builders and creators on base that don't have those resources to be able to come, to the IRL events. And so we were like, hey, let's throw this massive party for the base eco. Let's do Clankercon 2025 because we absolutely love Clanker, and Farcast is a Clanker. It's actually one of the 3 tokens that the dev is Clanker AI. Like Clanker AI is the one that launched it. And so we were like, okay, yeah, let's do this. We pitched it to Proxy Studio. We've been working with, Coinbase and Base team and, creating different workshops and, getting different speakers lined up. And then there's actually 6 different levels to this metaverse environment. So we have this whole story that's like post-apocalyptic that you're going to go into. You'll have quest pathing. You'll have all these different ways you're collecting tokens and NFTs and different POAPs. And it's just going to be an incredible time. And it's May 29th through the 31st. And so it's just going to be the biggest metaverse event for base. And so we're just super stoked and excited, to bring this to the community. We also are working with the base global builders, and we'll have a lot of different things that are keying into that. And another thing that is really important to us too is that we're showcasing the greatest projects in tech. And I'm actually gonna drop some alpha right now. I'm gonna drop some alpha about something that we're gonna do. And I love these mini apps, on Farcaster. We are going to make it so that every mini app within certain requirements will actually be it'll be free to showcase you at this event. So we'll make sure that you get plugged in, somehow you have an activation where, like, let's say with Farville, I was already thinking, I was like, okay, we need to have a place where, you have different crops and stuff, and then you can open up Farville and start playing, and we could have different rewards that we give, through that. And so, yeah, so this whole experience and event is something else. We can't wait to bring it to everybody. It's just going to be, oh yeah, yes, and Statuette is completely correct. We do have a surprise speaker that is about to be confirmed. We won't name that name, but we've just had so much support, and it's a beautiful thing that we get to bring this to the ecosystem. And another cool thing about this is that this will live on. This whole environment, all this co-creation that we're doing with all these different activations, like what you're seeing right here, this is a bunker. So because of the way that we're doing the storytelling with the post-apocalyptic, this is actually Clanker's bunker. And so a bunch of different projects are going to be able to get their own bunkers they can use indefinitely, right, with their community, have a community space in the metaverse where they can come and they can, do events. There's a bunch of different things that they can do with this. And so this is just kind of showcasing a little bit of, what's possible. And you see there's Vitalik right there. You can just put little Easter eggs everywhere, right? When you're building this stuff, we're just having so much fun. So, but yeah, if you're a base builder, if you're a base creator, if you're someone that loves, this ecosystem, you're going to want to be at Clankercon 2025 and reach out to us. Reach out to us if you want to be a sponsor, if you want to be a media partner. We've been just logging the hours and tons of different meetings, with these amazing projects that are going to be coming and showing up for this event.
I love it. And I love that y'all are having fun while building. That's kind of the big thing. A lot of game developers spending so much time on their game that eventually they hate it. And I love seeing the enjoyment and the excitement behind both of y'all's faces. I mean, I guess one face and one dog face, but that it still counts. It still counts.
Thank you. And I would be remiss, not to note that this whole experience, then the story that we're telling here, will then move into a game that actually we're creating with the Farcast project, and it's called the AGM. It's the Agentic Gaming Multiverse, and we're basically creating like a multimodal, endless adventure where this collaboration between AI agents are like your dungeon masters, and they're taking you through all these different stories, and you're collecting NFTs and tokens and items and using those. And I can actually share my screen to show a little bit about that. Just a sec here. Let me bring that up. So this we've been very blessed because we actually have on our team, and one of the ones that's really helping to build out this whole metaverse experience, gamified metaverse experience, is a gentleman that has been in the gaming industry for 34 years. He's shipped 38 AAA games. He is not doxxed in the space, but he is famous in the gaming industry. And so he's the one that's helping us put together a lot of everything that we're talking about here. So let me share my screen real quick here. And then, so this is kind of like showing a little bit of like some of the ways that we're building out this AGM. So you have like, your terminals with your different agents. We have multimodal, multi-generated like, images, and also interactive images. So if you saw Meta came out with a thing where they were like, hey, we can do these interactive, images and like, different points of interest and, loot boxes and all that stuff. And we've already been doing that for the last few months here.
Yes.
So we're, and as you can see, this is actually all voice activated. So our entire game can be played by voice, the entire thing. You don't even have to touch the keyboard. And so that's really cool. We'll have to demo sometime, like do another, spaces or, live stream with you guys to show you that stuff, because there's some really amazing things that we're building. And so you're going to see a lot of what we built with the AGM into this Clankercon environment. And so I'm going to let Ryan take it here and talk about the creators directory and how that ties into everything that we're doing as well.
Yeah. So I mean, it's what's really awesome is that everything that we're doing with Clankercon and everything that we're doing with the creators directory, we're focused on, scaling creators and builders on base and giving them opportunities to be seen and to be recognized, and for us to have, big events where, they're onboarded and made to feel like they're a part of the ecosystem, and, given the recognition and appreciation that they deserve, for coming out here and building and creating on base. So the creator directory is something that we're really proud to, be a community built project for the based creators group that Statuette kind of founded. So never fade based global builders is absolutely right. And never fade based creators, never fade based builders, never fade based media. The whole based alliance of folks who are pushing for this ecosystem is probably one of the strongest collection of folks that I've seen in any industry, and we're all aligned. That's the greatest thing, is that we're all aligned with the ecosystem goals. So what we're really proud to do is to have a directory where all the creators on base have an opportunity to share their portfolio, have the skills that they're known for, whether that's art, animation, music, design, front end, dev, back-end dev, whatever. If you describe yourself as a creator, if you create something with your heart and soul, then that makes you a creator. That's what we believe. Just like, if you build something, that makes you a builder. It's as simple as that. You don't have to be a dev to be a builder, just like you don't have to be an artist to be a creator. There's a lot of tools out here these days with, vibe coding. There's also vibe arting. There's vibe musicking. There's vibe just about anything these days. You know what I mean? So if you have a dream of something that you want to see made happen, if you push at it and you put your time and energy and your soul into it, we believe that you are a creator. So we're out here, making tools for creators. That's what kind of the Creators Collective is all about. And the Creators Directory is kind of the first thing that we're focused on. And we'd love to get all the game creators out here on base on board, because there's I'd say that game creators are among the fewest of the creator categories. It's just so difficult to get on board, so difficult to start, creating games. And that's kind of why we're all for, any kind of products, any kind of, no code tools, any kind of AIs, any kind of education, onboarding, advocacy that we can do to help game devs who are interested in coming on chain, to learn about game dev and about how it's done. So that's kind of like that kind of brings us full circle to our build in public of like what we're doing, and like why we're doing it in public, and why we're letting folks come through for 2 hours every Friday to like learn about what we're doing in the Clankercon environment.
I love it. And y'all both know me. I'm a big gamer. I'm a junior game dev, building my own games myself, and I love y'all's focus on Unity. I love that y'all are supporting the ecosystem. I hear that y'all have a space every Friday night. When can people tune in? Is it in 30 minutes to an hour?
So it's actually now. Usually it's pretty much as this is wrapping up. We'll be heading into it, and that's every Friday at 5 p.m. Eastern.
Yep.
And that usually goes until 7, but we're gonna kind of be ending it an hour early this week, I think, just because like we started an hour early so that we could kind of merge streams. So we've been restreaming this stream to our stream this whole time.
Yeah, we have.
And then we'll just kind of like smoothly transition over for anyone who's watching on our side.
No, I love it. I love it. Well, not to bring y'all away from y'all's stream, but it's time for the Q&A portion. I'm going to bring everybody on stage. I hope that's all right.
Let's do it.
All right. Thank you all for joining. It was an amazing space, and it was really cool. And for the Q&A portion, I think we have one question in chat that I'm probably going to bring up a little bit later. But the first question that I wanted to ask everybody is, what's it like building on base? What's your experience?
We've had an amazing time building on base. Ever since last year when we started kind of testing the waters and just kind of seeing what it was all about. We've seen support from all the leadership and all the folks who are inspired by the leadership. And I think that, again, I think that comes from the top down. It comes from the folks who founded this. It comes from Jesse. It comes from his core team. It comes from the friends of the core team. It comes from the people who are employed by the core team. And then it just kind of that vibe, that mentality, that immaculate vibe, as Statuette says, it just kind of comes down from the top. And like we sensed that last year, and like we launched our token on Clanker last February, and yeah, now we've just been absolutely vibing and building, and it's been so fun. We've been really happy about it.
I like it. Lamone, I believe you're about to say something.
Yeah, no, totally agree with this take. I can also add that it's super fun, like the vibes, the energy. It's incredible. Like you really feel part of a community, even if you are, on the other side of the world. You can see like clearly what means like being a base builder and like everybody supporting each other, not only like the core team, but also like the overall community. It feels great, honestly. I didn't have any experience like this in other ecosystems, in other communities. I feel like now on base, but also like Farcaster, like to mention again, it's probably like where the best folks like are now hanging around, building cool shit, and trying to change the world, from their own room.
I like it. I like it. Noah, I'm gonna hand it off to you.
Yeah, I just agree with what everyone else has kind of already said. Like, you definitely feel the support from the base team and Jesse, and it just feels like you guys, the base team is easy to access. You can reach out to them; they'll respond, and it's open. So that's definitely very appreciative. Just makes it easy to kind of get started and start asking questions and learn if you're a builder trying to figure it out. So yeah, I've definitely felt that, and it's a good atmosphere to build in.
I love it. I love it. Jordan, what's your experience?
Yeah, so I mean, I actually come from being a Polygon maxi. So I'm actually the co-founder of Polydoge, most successful meme coin on Polygon. And so when I was looking for another place to go, because the Polygon eco was just kind of not doing so hot, right? And so when I found base, I felt like I found another home, right? I felt like a lot of the builders, they're very genuine. The teams, they're here for the long term, right? They're not just looking to extract. And so that's what I really love. And same thing that Limon said is like like on Farcast or Warpcast, like you find the best people on there. That's where the best developers, the best minds, the innovators, the pioneers of this space, are. I mean, that's where Clanker, right, like got started and everything. And so it's been an incredible experience, and it's another reason why I felt so passionate about creating an event like this, like Clankercon, to bring everybody together. And it's I absolutely love building on base. I'll be on base for years to come.
I like it. I like it. Iggy, how's your experience building on base? That's fine. We actually have a few questions for a few of the speakers here. I'm going to bring them up just so everybody can read. Noah, I believe this one is for you.
Yeah, so if you just got started, you might have to wait a little bit to get villagers, because you've got to first get huts. You got to have huts for your villagers to move into, and you have to have surplus food. So you need at least 2 food for every villager that wants to move into your village. And that happens the next time you stoke fire. So if you're not stoking the fire for a couple of days, you won't see those villagers until you stoke the fire a little later and have those resources that you need.
I like it. I like it. And then the next one we have for Limon.
Oh, that's a funny question. We were chatting about this a couple of days ago, but we're serious about it. I mean, there's also the other team members of Farville in the chat, and we were discussing it today, putting it in the pipeline for the next weeks, like these sort of like malus that you can apply on opponent's field. So we don't have a clear, idea yet on how to ship it, but the core idea is that you can, let's say, destroy crops, much like it happens on stock fire. So instead of like stealing wood or food, you can steal crops from other farms, or maybe you can slow them down, or maybe you can block a couple like grid cells in their farm, so that you can apply these malus and make the competition even harsher. So I don't have an exact date, but it will happen, statuette.
I like it. And then I do have one last question. When is Clankercon, and how can people find out about it?
Yeah, so it's May 29th through the 31st. and you can go to thecreators.com/Clankercon, and that's how you can sign up on the wait list. Get all the different information, and we're going to be pushing out a ton of announcements here in the next few days.
Yes,
Like-
and there's
like-
also a Telegram. on that.
Like Statuette was saying, there's a big announcement coming. So-
Yes, there's a big one coming, and there's also a Telegram link on there to join the group and get connected with the organizers here that we can help you get on board. And we can also help you get on board the creator directory too, as a game creator or as any type of creator. So yeah.
And I'll just say this, Stokefire and Farville, you guys are already in, right, as having a mini app and a successful one at that. So, let's get connected so that we can get you activated in the space.
All right. Well,
Definitely.
those are all the questions. Thank you all for joining, and I hope it was an amazing space. I'll see you all on either on Farcaster playing Farville, which I need to check out a little bit more, or on Stokefire, which I now have a competitive edge. It seems I have a space to join next, to where it's focused on gaming as well. Thank you all for joining, and stay based. I'll hand it to Toki to close us.
Awesome. Thank you everyone for hanging out with us today. And huge shout out to Zach for hosting such an amazing and engaging session. It was really awesome diving into the world of onchain gaming on base with all of you. And also wanted to give a huge shout out as well to the incredible presenters for showcasing their projects. If you're building on base, we'd love to connect. Reach out if you'd like to help host these community-wide virtual events or present at a future one. Planning to keep scaling them and getting more projects in the spotlight. I dropped some info in the Twitter live chat on how to stay connected with us today and with the presenters I shared. You can reach out on X, hop into the base Discord, and subscribe to our upcoming virtual events on the Luma page. Yeah, this was super awesome. Really do appreciate everyone spending time with us. Let's keep pushing boundaries, keep building, and we'll catch you at the next base event. Take care. Hope everyone has a good rest of your Friday and weekend. Thanks, everyone.
All right. Bye, everyone.
Thanks. BM.
Thank you so
Bye,
much.
guys. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Hello.
All right. Awesome.
That was brilliant.
That was a lot of fun, huh?
Hold on, let me unmute my tab.
Oh, nice. I see that Base Junkie is in the house. And then Leo 7C just said, is there a POAP? There's going to be plenty of POAPs. There's some things that you might be able to get in the environment that you find, and you take a screenshot of it, and you can win some prizes here on our Build in Public. All right, let's get into it here. Man, there's some like Farville and Stokefire. Like Stokefire, I'm definitely gonna check that out. I like Farville, I do like, but man, I have gotten so addicted to like Farmville back in the past, so I'm just not even gonna go there. Like just just from past experience,
Yeah,
So,
I'm not
All
much
right.
of a gamer these days.
okay, Ryan's just running out into the distance. All right, is everyone's mics on?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Alright.
You may
Okay.
have your space muted
All
here.
right.
Or maybe
Oh, I got a doppelganger in here.
Lynn, can
I
you
see
hear me?
Smoke.
Yeah, I got you.
Anonymous Elephant just jumped in.
Hey guys, GM.
GM.
Great space,
GM,
great job.
GM.
Okay, I'm just gonna check on something here, just real quick. Oh, come on. Okay. All right, good deal.
Jordan, can you hear us? Jordan.
All right, let me.
Which is funny because he probably thinks none of us are talking to him.
Yeah, I think he's still muted from when we were both on the other stream, and I had my tab here muted too, and I forgot I had it muted.
Oh, you know what? I think yeah. All right, I did have it muted.
Here we go.
Okay, you guys were hearing me, right?
Yeah, we were hearing you.
Okay,
We were
okay,
having all sorts of conversations that we will now not tell you about.
Oh my gosh, embarrassing. No, yeah, no, I totally forgot that I muted it while we were in the the base build on base spaces with
Yeah,
the team there,
same
And so
here.
yeah, just so that I didn't have like that echo or anything going on.
Exactly. It seemed to work out pretty well, though. I think the double stream seems to have worked. I'm checking on it now.
Yeah, it seems like it did work pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
As long
I
as
thought
the
it went
first
good.
half
You
came
guys
through.
forgot to tell them who Doge is, so that was kind of sad. But they were like, "Look at that dog." I don't think they even knew it was Doge, but
Oh,
okay.
I think we did say own the Doge a few times, didn't we?
Yeah, I thought
With the
we
Doge
corrected
Ferrari
them. They were
sweat
like,
and
"Yeah, that's
everything.
Doge."
Hey, Rafa.
Yeah, I think we did.
Rafa
but-
GM. No, I'm not sure. I don't think they knew, but they'll probably learn. They'll definitely learn one day. They must see it's
Yeah.
a Shiba Inu.
Yeah, they definitely will.
But no, you guys did great. You sounded great and covered a lot of points. I may cut out early today, but you guys have a 6 space and let us know. And love sponsoring this. So if you guys want to buy any items today, let me know. Send over the cart, and I'll make sure to check them out for you. If you guys have any new cool stuff.
I've got the moon, like a moon environment ready, and I kind of want to chat with you about that. So let me share that screen.
Okay, sweet.
Because
Awesome.
we haven't really done a lot of this in our build in public yet. Like a lot of it has been kind of like exploring around the environment there, but I do like to share when we're doing like some of this actual kind of planning stuff. So let me kind of get my entire screen shared as opposed to just the Clankercon screen.
Yeah. Are we going to show like some of the assets that are going into the environment? Is that what we're showing?
Let me see.
Okay. Oh, excuse me.
Okay, here we go. So here's my ultra wide monitor that doesn't fit on any screens when we go stream, but
yeah, I've got an ultra wide too.
Yeah, it is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
So zooming up to the moon terrain that we currently have here, it is a little bit low res. So this is something that I would suggest that if we go with this one, we end up doing something more like situation where the environment itself can't really be explored. Because if you look at it, I mean, if you're walking around on this, that texture is so low res, and it's because it's one image that covers this entire thing. So you'd have to crank this up to like 4096 by 4096 to even have a shred of detail to it.
Yeah,
and it just doesn't. I don't think that we could do that, but yeah, let me just see real quick what this texture is looking like.
Okay.
And in fact, it is some kind of a terrain texture. What is this? That's weird. It seems to be a terrain, so that would suggest that it's been painted, but then why is it so, like, why does it look like it's generated from World Machine, where it has like rivers and valleys all perfectly painted and stuff? Where's the paint tool? I don't like how they put it on here. All right. Moon terrain material. So it does have a material already applied. Here's the base map, color map. What's the size of this original thing? Whoa, 52 megabytes. That might be, we might be able to work with that. Let me see here. I mean, like, if I can crank this up, then that would be one of the main textures of the environment. It wouldn't be too bad to have a 4096 one, I guess, if it doesn't
Yeah.
look bad, because it's currently at 1024. That's why it looks so bad. It's. Let me see if we crank it up to 4096, just as we are.
Okay. And I'm going to be bringing Paul on as well, so I'm going to send the restream link just a sec.
Yeah, please do send out that restream link to anyone who wants to come on. I tried to like share it with a bunch of groups and folks who might want to come and kind of talk about gaming on base. This is looking a little bit better.
This is pretty dope, actually. I will say.
This actually
do
looks
like
a lot. Yeah, it looks really good now with the increased texture.
Yeah, this is gonna be sick.
Yeah.
And we
Okay,
can
let
put other
me-
stuff here too, like a stage, right? And DJ set, whatever we want. Or
Oh yeah. So the one
Okay.
thing about this though is that it is just a square environment like this, as you can see. So we would want to kind of have it contained in like the center, and then like we could like duplicate this environment, you know, a couple of times. And you know, I guess since it is a terrain, I would go to the create neighbor terrains here.
Where did you put that link, by the way, Ryan? Where's that link at?
Oh, it's in the creators admin and inner circle.
Okay, creators admin. Okay.
Yep, that should
And
work.
inner circle. Okay. All right. Yeah, let me go find it. Oh, there it is. Okay, cool. All right, I'm sending it to him, right?
I always like a plateau. Like I like a good plateau. You know what I mean? With like a flat top that you can be like, oh, there might be something cool hidden up there. If only me as a player could like go up there. You know what I mean? Like I like that. 'Cause I think about that in real life too. Whenever I'm like visiting like Utah or whatever, and like there's like plateaus and like, ooh, what's up there? From like aliens landing up there from, like, ages ago. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And it looks like Nacho just said hello. Is Nacho here?
Oh, let me see if we can bring. Here he is.
Yeah.
What up, Nacho? How you doing, man?
We got Nacho. Awesome.
Go.
Oh.
Hey, Nacho.
Did he come through? I think he just rugged as soon as I brought him on. Oh, I heard the beep. I heard a beep. That means someone's here. Here's Paul. Hey, Paul. How you doing? Oh, you're muted. I don't know if we're hearing you.
I think he's muted.
I was muted on my headset from last call. Can you
Nice.
hear me now?
Yeah, man. How you doing, man?
So is this the Ryan that's like my new best friend?
Yeah, that's right.
That's right. Yeah, we're the new my new best friend. So awesome. Nice to actually talk to you.
Nice to talk to you too, man. Yeah, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself? Because this is the first time that you've been up in the build in public, and we'd love to hear about you.
Let's see. I've been given this spiel so many times to VCs, so it's always, just I'll try not to make it sound so blah. I'm old. I'm an old dev. Been deving for 35 plus years. Corporate world, lots of database stuff. Fortune 500 crap. Gotten blockchain. I've been blockchain for about 7 years. Do a lot of CTO work because that's what this space needs more of, is more oversight and kind of building for stability, building good, strong projects, not just building for tomorrow, but building for next year. And so I spent a lot of time working on that. Deployed a lot of contracts, been on a lot of projects. Latest one we're working on is Rift, which we'll be using for Clankercon, which I'm really excited about. And we're providing some good tech for the back end of the Clankercon tickets. It's going to get kind of exciting.
That is really exciting. And actually, that's something that, since I've been working with Jordan and, he's been talking about the tickets, and we've been kind of working on that on the back end. Really, really glad to kind of be able to to bring that tech into the Clankercon environment, and how the attendees are going to be collecting various different activations and trying to find all the locations and the vehicles and the unlocks, and like essentially just like a video game where you have like a progress indicator, you know, if you can 100% the game and be a completionist, and you know, for all those things that you unlock, you know, you're going to be getting little bits of swag in your swag bag digitally through this technology, and it's really rad. It's really, really rad. I love it.
Oh, I think it's exciting, and I started looking at some of the ways that the space works and the code, and I think we're going to do something really cool here is by having Web3 functionality, but no Web3 in the space itself, so that by doing that, we actually can be way more flexible with what we can provide, because we'll actually be, there's no limitations of putting Web3 inside Unity. We'll be doing it with an external API. So now we can do some really, really cool stuff. I was even talking about, we could actually do progressive NFTs that actually change the image while you're actually collecting items. The more items you collect, the more it reveals. And we can do some really cool stuff because we can do it all outside of Unity.
Yeah,
Very
it's gonna be exceptional, and yeah, I can't wait to see the showcase of that and everything that we've been building at Rift, and it's about time, right, Paul? It's about time.
Oh, it's about time. I think we started this journey. We started this journey a year ago, maybe a little longer, and being able to actually see the tech started getting adopted and people starting to use it. That's exciting. That's exciting. That's the other thing about the Web3 that there's always this, I want it now, I want it tomorrow. It all has to work, and we have a lot of projects that just don't make it, but we've never given up. We knew it was going to happen.
Yeah, and it's interesting, right? That the vast majority of projects that tried to do hybrids and dynamic they're gone. They're non-existent. They're not here anymore. NFT 2.0 was such a hype thing for a few months, a year ago, last year, and yeah, for some reason, they were just kind of following some hype, right? They weren't following like all the amazing utilities you can do with this technology. And I mean, Smoke knows all the amazing things that you can do with this type of technology because, they're the OG, like hybrid, own the Doge project. Like that's all about, dynamic and hybrid. Right. And so, just incredible,
Yes. Love it. Love what you guys are doing, that you're building on that, because in 2021 there was like a little renaissance moment where people were really getting into exploratory stages with fractionalization, and I feel like it was there was a lot of potential, and then it kind of faded off for a couple of years, and now I feel like you guys are really bringing it to that next level now that technology has advanced to the point where it's possible. And I can only imagine the type of things that can be done with tokens, NFTs. We're seeing it on Zora. We're seeing it with, Privy. But I can only imagine, like, by end of 2025, where we'll be, especially with this AI insanity that's unfolding.
Oh, absolutely. One of the things that we did when we kind of looked at the other tech that had been out there and the things that had been built, and what everybody had kind of built was just hard-coded, A to B. Always had to be A to B, or B to C specifically. And so when we put it together, when I built the contracts, when I built the concept, we built it in a flexible way. So you get to decide what A is, and it could be tokens, NFTs, could be a bunch of tokens, could be a bunch of NFTs, could be ERC 1155s or 721s. And then you get to decide what B is going to be. And so now what we really have is an asset bridge, in the sense that you can take whatever you want, put it on A, and make it be whatever you want, put it on B. And so now we have the flexibility that if somebody comes in, we can build that, and we can actually make this bridge happen. And so now it's whatever you want it to be.
And the other thing, that we can do, like when we're using like the OFP standard for the hybrids, which is the layer 0 standard for, like multi-chain NFTs, is you can make like kind of the most secure bridge possible, right, through a hybrid NFT. You can put tokens in that high. There's no way anyone can get into that contract. They can't grab those assets out. It's like super secure. So that's another use case that will be coming down the line that just kind of blew our minds. When we were like, wait, we can absolutely do this. So Ryan, I think you need to add Nacho. I think Nacho is trying to get back up right now. There he is. There's the guy. There's the man of the hour.
There's that PFP.
Yeah, I'd never get sick of that, man.
I cropped it a little bit, just in case. I wasn't sure how family oriented we were here. So
Yeah.
about that, huh?
crop the nards. Awesome.
It's a two sombrero ensemble. It's a fashion trend. So there you go. Those who know. No. There you go. How's everybody doing? I saw you guys were talking about the moon, the texture.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
one of the things is that if you wanted to get a larger texture, you would actually need to divide the moon texture up. So instead of one large 4K texture, it might be, well, you might hit some budget things, but you'll have like 4 4K textures, and you split the moon surface into, instead of one big quad, it would be like 4 quads, right? So that's how you'd increase the resolution.
Got it. Okay. Yeah, that's what I was doing
Yeah.
for my game in 2022.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
And then you could even go to maybe 2K textures, and then you could split it up that way. So that's one way. The other way I've done it was you could leave the large kind of blurry texture, because when you're close you're going to see the pixels, but then you'll put on a secondary normal map, or even like a how would I call it? It's not a shadow map. I forget what it's called, but it would be a tiled kind of like
a detail
rocky
map
texture. Yeah, there you go. You put it on your detail map, and that one, because when you're close up, you won't see the large crater thing because you're too close, but you'll have the detail map, so you'll at least see that, and that'll be high resolution. So that's another way you could try to do that. So there you go. How about that?
outstanding. So for anyone that doesn't know you, Nacho, let's have you give you a little bit of a introduction.
So I wear 2 sombrero ensemble, and I've been I guess I've been in the games industry for a long time, maybe about 34, coming up on 35 years. I got in when we still had an Apple IIe doing stuff. So that Commodore 64. So we got to do things on resolutions that are unheard of, like 128. No, maybe it was actually bigger than that. It was like under 1,000 pixels. Maybe it was 512 pixels for the whole screen, not an icon. And then we had to deal with colors because back then we were dealing with character sets. We weren't even dealing with pixels a lot of the time. So you only had maybe 4 colors per character. So yeah, we had to juggle a lot of things. But then I've been with things all the way up through all the latest the latest consoles and all that kind of stuff too. So, and then I ended up making the switch over to AR VR back in, what was it, 2009? That was probably the earliest. Back then we were doing like AR with QR codes. So you could have a QR code and then stick an AR thing on there, whatever character or whatever. And then I've been and then transitioned to AI, doing agentic gaming stuff. as a lot of the AI became a thing. Really, basically, once we got more substantial open source AI, about maybe 2 years ago. That's when we got things like
I mean, it's
Llama.
still primitive 2 years ago, right? Compared to where we're now. Like,
Well, yeah, especially because back then, the only AI that was out there was really open AI. But really, what I think turned things around was when open source AI became the quality became something that was useful. Because at that point, anybody can tinker around with the AI and start playing around with it. Going through and doing things, and really that's where you can start doing your own agent, because back then you didn't have such things as agents with open AI. Being able to chain your LLM with like something like DaVinci for video editing, things like that. So yeah, so I've been around doing things. I in the game industry, I think I did everything. I started off as an artist, but I was programming before that, but I got in as an artist, and then later on I started doing programming on games and things like that, and then was producer on things, game designer, tester. I did everything.
yeah, you've been through the whole gambit of the gaming industry.
I ran my own.
You've been
business.
the guy that's getting the coffee, and then all the way up to the guy that's asking for the coffee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had a studio where we grew from 3 people as founders to about 150 people, and then we sold that to another company. And then so I've been through every part, of the industry and all that. I was on the side of the big publishers, an international publisher. So I got that side. Then I was on the side of an independent studio. So I get to see it from a 360 view of the game industry.
So for you, Nacho, with your such extensive experience, like what is your feeling about like all the on-chain gaming and what's going to happen with like the vibe coding of gaming and like the future of the gaming industry? Like, tell us your take on the future of the gaming industry.
Okay, I thought the future of the game industry wasn't the vibe coding so much as it was when Google released their AI. I forget the name of the AI, but basically it's able to generate videos of AAA titles. You say, hey, I want to play Monkey King, Black. I forget the full title. I don't know. My memory.
Oh, the Wukong one.
Yeah, Wukong.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
basically,
I know
they'll
you're
do
talking
that,
about.
and then you say, I want a AAA Superman game, and I'm flying around, or I want to be Spider-Man, and it basically generated, and you're able to interact with it. You could send commands, up, down, left, right, all these other kind of things. So essentially, it mimicked game streaming, right? Where basically, game streaming, you've got the PS5s and all that stuff on some server cloud, and then at home you have the controller, and you're basically being able to send commands to have it done, because that is more immediate. The vibe coding, and Paul and I have talked about this. It's interesting, actually vibe coding, I've been doing that ever since I got in the industry, and it's called prototyping. Right? You just go really fast and you make things happen. Is it something that's production ready? No, but it's there so then you could go and test out ideas and then show the executives to try to get a green light, right? And then say, great, it's we call it like vertical slice. You're
the vertical slice.
Yeah, you're trying to get a version of the game playable so people can say, yeah, okay, we'll spend money, we'll pluck in the 5 million or 10 million or whatever, and we'll start moving the game forward. Marketing can sit down and say, okay, great, we see the potential, we see how the angle is, we can see how our market would react to this. So that's, to me, that's what vibe coding is. It's
How
just
long?
prototyping, but
How
we
long
did
do
it
you
slow.
feel like? Not,
We did by hand before.
yeah. So I want to ask you about that. Like, how long would it take you to create a like a decent vertical slice to have as a presentation? Like, how many weeks, months? Like, what was the time frame?
It really depends. It could take anywhere from 3 days to 3 months. It really depends on how much of the, let's say, the unique features of the game you're trying to show off. And it really depends on the budget too. If you're trying to pitch a $20 to $40 million game, you're not going to go through and do a prototype in 3 days. It just won't do it justice in terms of being able to sell that to the executive management to say, great, yeah, we're going to spend 40 million on this thing, have 150 people work on this thing. So
did you
it really depends.
Yeah, did you see that game that guy vibe coded? One dev, one guy, and like pretty much overnight he made $20 million. Right, it's the number one game on Steam. It's based on Breaking Bad,
it's
right?
Breaking Bad.
Like,
yeah. Well,
crazy.
What's weird?
Crazy.
No, he didn't get to use the names in there, right? I didn't. I saw the article, but I don't know too much about the details. Because how did he get away with the IP?
So I don't think he used any of the names. He just made the environments. Based on it. Yeah. So the you go into like the meth lab, right? And like like all that stuff. And then
my name is almost inspired by that show.
The gangs, all that. Oh man, Nacho. Oh,
he didn't survive though. Oh,
Nacho was
that was a spoiler.
Yeah, Nacho.
I have a question, guys.
10 years ago.
Yeah, go ahead.
Are we gonna get some more like power ups like this low gravity, like different power ups? Do you think, or?
Oh, I think that we will have more things as we're playing around, as we get the foundations down. And so like that's a big part of what we're doing over the next like week and a half is making sure that all those different levels, blocking everything out. So I think we can totally explore all the other options and things, but that power up's really cool. The low gravity. I mean, because we're working with a gaming engine, we can do anything that a game could do, right? And so so hopefully that answers your question, Smoke.
Yeah, I think we should lean into that because it's so fun to be able to move so much faster. And I know I got us a couple of weeks ago the ability to fly. So I'm excited to see if we like think about ways to gamify. We could even offer an ability. I know we were going to offer something special to attendees that was going to be like I know what it is. What is it called? An aura. Maybe we could also have an ability.
Lots of those different auras.
Yeah.
I think it also. I mean, I'm not the dev, right? I'm not the dev, so I mean that would definitely be a Nacho and Orion question when it comes to like how easy it is to implement the code for those types of things. Maybe it's easy if you like get code from someone that's already created that, and then you just implement it into the how did we do the low gravity? Like how long did that take us to put into the environment?
We did that during last stream, so that was like maybe a half hour. That's something that's kind of a node that you can have access to, the gravity and the walking and running speed. So those are things that you have direct access to as the actor controller.
Okay. Yeah, so that was a pretty easy thing to put into place.
Do we plan to have like day and night, like different times of the day?
Yes, and that's something that would love to work with Nacho on this. Actually, this asset in particular, not this one, but the what's it called? The day and night system. What was it called? Was it Unistorm? Azure. It was called Azure Sky Dynamic Skybox. This is as close as I've gotten to getting a day-night and weather system working in spatial.
Mhm.
And it's
Okay.
it's almost there. It's just there's some issues with the fact that it uses what is it? It uses like mirroring, I think it's called. Yeah, there's some kind of like command, or there's some kind of a script that's not allowed to be used in spatial, that it gets flagged, and we have to like remove it out without breaking the whole thing. And I don't know enough about like exactly what's going on with the weather system, and like how it's something about it. What's it? Let me see what was it called. Yeah, it was something like that, where it
Just tried to show a reflection or something.
reflection. Yeah, that was it. It was called reflection. System.reflections.
It's probably because mirroring requires second pass render, so maybe they can't do that.
Well, actually, the system.reflections has, when I looked it up, that has nothing to do with actually like visually mirroring anything.
It's
System.
a coding standard for
Yeah.
looking up and compiling real time, and so it's actually looking at precompiled classes, and so it's kind of a newer thing. I wouldn't say it's newer. I mean, it's older, but compared for Unity, it's newer, and probably also on this version of Unity.
Doesn't support it. Yeah, in 2021.
It's a coding standard. I mean, it's been around for like 10 years at least.
The thing
in
is,
C#, but
it runs in Unity when you go into play mode in Unity. Like, it works flawlessly. It looks beautiful. I would love to use this weather system, but the problem is that spatial does not allow for the system.reflections to be used at all. So we just need to like get in there and kind of cut that part out without breaking the whole thing. And if I could get your guys' help on that, then we can get a really beautiful day-night system working. And it looks great.
You may not be able to do that.
Oh, okay. Well, then that is what it is then.
I mean, I can look at it. I mean, I could actually look at the source if we can actually get the source on it.
I've got the source, yeah.
And so I could look at it and see if there's a way to do it without reflection. But it's kind of one of those. It might be a lot more work than it's worth, because you're kind of basically what you're doing is you're refactoring the entire code.
That's true.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if it's a day-night thing, it's really, we can probably craft a script that just deals with the ambient lighting and just the environment lighting to kind of achieve it. I'm not quite sure what it all does. Is it also changing, let's say, the sky map too, or?
Let me bring it up in the. Let me put it in our Clanker Bash project.
Okay,
right now.
Look. Because a day-night cycle shouldn't be too hard to just kind of code it out, because it's just the lighting.
Just put random buttons. Just put random buttons like at random kiosks where people can make it night or light, and just random people can click it, and you're just turning day or night. It'd be hilarious.
Then it would be a nightclub. It would be a nightclub, because you'll have day-night battles.
Right.
And then we need somebody beatboxing. But we'd have to probably put a epileptic a seizure warning, just in case people
we might have to do that on that.
Oh my god, that would be too hilarious.
That'd be amazing though. Like, that'd be.
So
great.
I had this idea, so that like the ticket is going to be a Rift, which means it's going to be an NFT that we actually can store things in. And so you'll be able to run around and be able to collect tokens or NFTs and stuff from different booths, and it'll actually be injected into it. So it now actually has a store of value. So when we sold our NFTs, what if there was a way, which there is a way, but that users could actually go to the websites of some of our sponsors or projects, whatever, and they can actually collect something from that website to inject into that NFT. So when they come to the event, they now have some interesting asset within the space. So in other words, if I collected, I don't know, if I collected a Clanker NFT, whatever it is, right?
Yeah.
Then when I come to the space, I actually have a Clanker hat I can put on my character. You see what
Sure.
I'm
I mean,
thinking is
I
the
believe.
benefit. So what we're doing was we're providing more than the benefits within the space itself. We're actually providing the benefits to our sponsors that users actually come and interact with their sites directly outside of the event, like before the event happens. So there's exposure to them, and then we support that by giving actual use case for the collectible item within the game itself. And we can do this through, because we're actually going to be using an API for reading all of the attributes of these NFTs.
Mm-hmm.
And so we don't even have to worry about the Web3 part. We just have to worry about, like you query the API. What do they have? I'll send you a list. Boom. Now they have a hat they can put on, or they have, or hell, they could have flight, or whatever, so that you want to give them based upon stuff that they've collected from our sponsors outside of the event entirely.
Oh, outside the event, not in
No,
the
like
special event. I guess I kept thinking you're talking
no.
about
So they would
inside the
go
special
to
event.
the Clanker site and maybe collect a Clanker NFT.
Okay.
Like outside of the event, like real
Fine.
world, go to the web. And by
Yeah.
collecting that,
Yeah.
they would it would inject
Yeah.
that into their
Sure.
ticket. And now when they register or they enter the event, you get the list of stuff they have already injected, and boom, now they have these bonuses.
Yeah.
And I was also thinking about, they were talking about the
Sure.
extra, like,
If it's an API.
yeah.
then-
And so I was thinking about like the other attributes, the other bonuses or boosts, flight or low gravity or whatever it is. You could also make that unlockable through collecting items within the game, which would also be injectable items to the NFT.
Yeah. Well, I think that'd be pretty cool. And what I like about it too, mainly because I always think about this, is that it could be a secondary market. I collected this gravity NFT or token or whatever that it's going to be for the power up, and I'm going to sell this on the open market. So if somebody wants this, and guess what? I got a 10x on this value. Any loot box I open up gets 10x. So I'm selling that for like $1,000.
Exactly.
So essentially, it gives utility that way, because now people are actually able to go through and flip their power ups.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, and I think it'd be kind of fun. We could actually take and make this API as a standalone that uses our Rift technology and these power ups, so that other people that are running spatial events can actually access them, and it'd be kind of interesting.
Yes, need to do that. That's a good idea.
Because I think the API could be, it's basically, it's your Web3 spatial bridge. Is what we're looking at. It's a Web3 to spatial bridge without having to put Web3 or any of the tech in spatial itself. So it keeps it very, very clean. And so now it's super flexible. And you're also not locked on a blockchain.
Yeah, we could do a lot of cool stuff, like
So
give someone a
with
pill, and then when they take the pill, they like can see the world in a different way, like really trippy. Like a lot of stuff can be done with those types of power ups.
Sure.
Yeah, no, I love that. I
we
love
can
that.
make it trippy.
We even thought of having
We can put you
something
under the
where
ground.
like you were like in another dimension or something. Remember, Smoke, we were talking also, like there could be something where like you take something and now you see like a bunch of like spirits and like like ghosts or
Well,
Enter the spirit realm.
Yeah. Enter the spirit realm. Yeah.
Yeah, we could do Alice in Wonderland. Basically, we could shrink your size, so now you're
Actually,
Could you make it so you see everybody
into
naked?
the tiny.
We
dance
did
floor.
that. We did that at Polycon. I mean, Paul actually was there at that event, and we had remember we had one of the tokens that you could pick up, and then it shrunk you down, and then you could walk around for I think like a minute, shrunk, and then you pop back up.
Yeah. Oh, you had one that made you a dragon too, I think, wasn't it?
That was the coolest one. I feel like I really love the dragon one.
Yeah. But can you make a pill that just makes everybody naked?
Well, we can make you invisible. All of a sudden you're
that makes you naked. Well,
I think this is a different type of Clankercon.
Didn't we talk to
that was
Statuette?
Wankercon.
I think we talked to Statuette about having like a kids like area. Didn't we talk about that, like for the event, like having
what is this, Hollywood? No,
kids activation.
No,
You
Not
do
like
not
that.
like that.
No,
That's the world we
no.
want to
we
destroy.
were talking about like a kids area where they can learn about crypto and they can do little workshops. And
Well,
they
we
can,
were, I mean, we were
make-
definitely talking about that. And that's something that I personally am an advocate for, right? Because I have
Yeah.
kiddos, and my 10-year-old, she loves gaming. She loves it when we're building in Unity together. She's, she'll always come in and participate. And she's even helped Ryan when he's building, a car or whatever and stuff.
She even helped me on my first time when I was like, tweaking stuff.
Yeah.
Right?
So like
yeah.
I know that
Nice.
I'm an advocate. I know we met someone on the Twitter space the other day that has so one of the creators in the space where she's teaching kids in rural areas that about all of this stuff, right? And Web3 and like building and stuff like that to spread that creativity.
So did we get in contact with her so we can have her as a speaker, or like even run a workshop? Did we get her?
I mean, we talked to her. I don't know if she reached out to Ryan after the space, because Ryan did tell her, like, hit us up. And I think Ryan was going to send her the, secret hush hush wink wink link to our Telegram, where some of our creators are testing out the directory, right?
Yeah. Yep. Our testing area, testing zone. Mm-hmm.
Sorry, who are we talking about?
So they're the creator that came on the Twitter space with us, who is doing that program with kids in rural areas. And
I hope she comes through. I think I've got her in my DMs, so I definitely want to.
There was some DM slipping, so that's cool.
That's good. That's good. We got some DM action.
So I totally understand the aspect of like, what was the comment just a second ago?
Wait, are you gonna keep the boobs on Jesse? Are you keeping the boobs on Jesse?
I know.
I'm glad someone finally realized what I'm doing.
Are you guys watching?
I wasn't even affected. I saw Ryan. I just like wasn't surprised. Just kept coming to the conversation. It does look pretty hilarious though.
Yeah, but right, and so like as a
very
filmmaker,
memeable.
I do think that that's hilarious when the comment about Hollywood was made, right? Because I am an advocate of like creating your stories no matter what those stories are. Yeah. But me also as a parent, I mean, I curse like a sailor around my kiddo. I'm very open with my kiddo, and I think there's oh my god, not little old innocent me. But my whole point to saying that, right, is like, I mean, I personally take that responsibility as a parent of what she can participate in, what she can't participate in, what, things she shouldn't be watching, not giving her freedom on YouTube as an example, right? Like all those things.
Yeah.
And I've taught her mommy curses like a sailor, and she always gets offended because she's like, mommy. And she knows she doesn't say those words, right? So I'm all about us building this space openly, but having a kind of kiddo-friendly area, right?
No, I agree. It needs to have the guardrails on there, just to make sure there's no incident or whatever kind of stuff. Because we don't want anything tainting that kind of idea, because I do also think it's cool to have a space for young developers, budding developers, so they could give it a try and test the waters. But yeah, make sure that they don't that it's a safe place for them, right? So
one thing that we really wanted to do with Doge and Kokoro was have them be characters that taught kids, like especially Doge, like if it could teach kids, you know what I mean? Like an AI agent Doge that taught kids about like space travel or coding. That would be really cool. I don't know that there would be time to try something like that, like within Clankercon, but just in general, that's definitely been something maybe Rift could help us with down the line.
We could do that, but also we could do a hackathon around that. Like if you want that to be something, like maybe we could have different different teams come in and do a hackathon around that, right? So we could, let's put a pin in that. Okay, so
Yeah, I like the hackathon idea because that does directly,
OT,
appeal to hey, the kids who want to try to do something and have a showcase.
We could put it in Lynn's kid area, have like
a
a TV for them, or I don't know, like
yeah.
It's gonna be interesting.
I know, like, well, and even for me, because I love kiddos, and like I'm writing a children's books for like practitioners and for spirituality and stuff like that, because it just doesn't exist, right? Like we never think about kids.
Very
but we
few,
don't,
yeah.
Right, but it's like I don't know. There's definitely a lot of things that I feel like Web3 can do for these amazing human beings that are so creative and so honest and so out there and just smart as hell. And so I'm just a huge advocate, and we can have those special areas where we're teaching them how to code, where we're teaching them about emotions or meditation and breathing or whatever it is, right? Like all these things, and give them these tools to help them just be themselves and be better every day, and and strive for whatever it is that they want to do.
Yeah. You know what I think would be interesting, and I've always had this kind of issue before, so when I got into some of these groups in crypto, especially during the time that it was like just after COVID or during COVID, you had a lot of the young people who started getting into crypto because these stimulus checks were flying all over the place. And the thing is that I didn't realize this until there's a time where sometimes you're in a Discord group and everybody starts like, hey, how old is everybody? And people start saying, I'm this age, that age. There were some of these where a lot of them were like 12 and 13 and 14. And these are like major crypto projects. And I remember when I was that young, I knew nothing about investing or anything, And I think the thing is that later on, as the market was turning bad in 2022, there was a lot of anxiousness, a lot of the stuff. And it turned out to be a lot of young people who their first time was getting into crypto and then losing money and then freaking out. So the thing is, it'd be awesome to be able to show young people how to do investing, because they're all doing it. It's funny when I asked some of these kids, how did you learn about this? They were saying, I learned from this other friend of mine. We're playing Minecraft. I'm going, what? And they said, you can make ton of money, do all this stuff. So the thing is, the kids will talk about crypto and Web3 on a playground and their whatever their games that they're playing, stuff like that. But like I said, from what I remember when I was that young, I had no concept of investment. When I got money, it burned a hole in my pocket, so I spent it. It wasn't like when I was 12 or whatever, I was saving for a house or a car, or knew why you want to save for anything. You get money, you spend it. So it would be interesting to be able to give that kind of education to young people, because I think I agree. They're getting much smarter than we were back then because they have more access to technology information. What would be the next part is to make sure they understand the financial side of it, so they can really explode. Because once the kids have money, they have a way to understand how to generate income and wealth and all that stuff, along with the idea of access to all these great technologies. They could be unstoppable.
100%. And this is right. These are the individuals that are going to grow up and be a part of society. And, we want them I want to build a better world for the next generations to come. Yeah. Right. And I really love where your head's at. Now, I'm an accountant, and I've also been a banker, actually. So I taught financial responsibility to obviously my own kids, but also to other kids and stuff like that. I won't touch the investment portion of it, but I will 100% be a part of the basics of financial responsibility and the basics of money that comes in, money that comes out, what you should be saving, what, you know, like all of these things, and build on that. So 100%.
Yeah, totally. Because, you know, again, this isn't just kids, but adults do this too. There's sentiment, and I'm carried away by the sentiment, and everybody's getting this. I'm going to jump into this. Unfortunately, they jump in at the top, and then they realize, wait, I just got wrecked. You know, the money I was going to use for you know, buying my whatever, it's all gone. It's being able to have that critical thinking. I think when we start having that, that's also going to help actually the crypto on a whole. Because again, I didn't realize this until I was going around with the, you know, some of the groups. I didn't realize, you know, you really don't realize the ages of a lot of the people who participate in crypto. And again, it's really the young people, anywhere from, like I said, 12 up to, you know, up to 18, and then of course you've got everybody else. But those ages of that.
I even think it's even
you know, again, when I was young, I didn't know anything about, you know, the money and all that stuff. It's like,
and I think it's even,
I just knew people said you can make a lot,
right? And I think it's even younger than that. Actually, you say 12, but Little Bit is 10, and so she's in 5th grade, right? And her friends have had cell phones for the past 2 years at least, and mine doesn't. She does not have a cell phone. And I see these kids with their phones and like them having their own YouTube channels, and I'm like, I have wishy-washy feelings about this, and you know what I mean? But I would love to be a part of that and get them those basics first, where it's like, hey, your goal is to have money dollars for expenses, your goals, your wishes, your dreams, I don't know, motorcycle you want in the future, whatever it is, I don't know. And then talk about, right, because don't invest in crypto if like that's your grocery money, right? That's
exactly.
Don't do those things, right?
It's even lessons that adults need to learn, because you've seen, now I don't know, maybe these are fake, because a lot of times people are trying to get like a failure porn or something like that. But you know, you'll see people say, I lost everything, I lost my kids' college money on this token. It's like, what?
Right. And you're like, why in the world would
what
you do
kind of parent are you?
that crazy sauce?
Yeah, it's like, okay, you know, this is not, and then, I lost my house, or we can't pay rent. I'm thinking, crypto is a high risk asset. You don't go and use that as a consistent form of income. You use that with disposable income. If you need money, you know, you gotta separate that. You know, so even adults get that wrong. The ones who aren't faking that just to get the failure porn. But you know, it's like it's kind of funny. I didn't realize how big failure porn was until the big Chase. It was the Chase hack. Basically, somebody realized that you could go and deposit. You could deposit a check.
I remember this.
Into the ATM. Yeah, and they're saying, I faked that I deposited like 100,000, and look, I got the money out. And then you see the bill come in saying that they've got a negative, like a 46,000 or 90,000 in their account, and that there's a problem and all that stuff, right? But some of that was actually failure porn. They didn't actually do that, but you get a lot of views, because people love watching people get into really miserable situations.
Yeah. And you know what? So in my head, because like I'm picturing all of this, right? On a side note, I totally pictured like these 3D Doge dogs like doing some of these teachings and stuff too, right? Like what Smoke was saying earlier, like having the AI agents and seeing these puppies running around, and I don't know why. Anyway, that's where my brain was started going.
There you go. Oh, that sounds pretty good. Yeah, see, we're looking out for the future, trying to help everybody one step at a time. Really not about that, because when it comes down, I mean, the whole thing is we're doing gaming and games, and where does it usually start? Gym. So being able to have these kind of conversations along these lines is pretty cool, and everybody who's been playing games grows up to be like us, right? We were playing games way back, and we're still playing games, but these are the things that we carry with us. The lessons, the memories, all that stuff. It goes through the rest of your life.
I mean, your past makes you who you are, right? for good, bad, indifferent, whatever. Your past makes you who you are.
Well, I mean, that's the thing about the memories, right? And it's the same thing when it comes down to, let's say we talk about like AI. AI right now, it's fun, it's cool. A lot of times it's kind of like a party trick, but once they perfect the memory management, where the AI can remember long things from people and all that stuff, that's where it gets really interesting. When you talk to some AI that can have memory compared to one that doesn't, every time you go to an AI and you got to reintroduce yourself, it's like, okay, great, it's this thing. But the moment you go back and it says, oh, I remember you. Oh, how you doing? The last time we were talking, you were talking about this. How'd that turn out? It starts to become really interesting, right? And it can be very easy to fall into the idea that, oh, wow, I'm not just talking to an AI. I feel like I'm talking to a being, something that actually remembers and all that stuff. And maybe part of that is ego, the idea that things remember you. See you as an individual, it's like, oh, okay, great. Even though it's like a kind of like a simulation. But it's interesting. But yeah, memories, and I think that's what's cool about all the stuff that we're doing here, right? We're applying the latest technology towards things like gaming and togetherness and all this other stuff to really make things different. We're on the dawn of this stuff because not a lot of people are doing this right now, right? Especially mixing in the metaverse with AI and everything else. It's pretty interesting stuff that Paul's bringing up in terms of the mixing in the Rift NFTs and things. The idea that we could go beyond the boundaries of the experience into the real world to allow when you capture value somewhere, that value actually exists everywhere. That's cool. That's a neat kind of thing. Things that you do in like the real world or in the metaverse, they kind of cross over in a bit. Maybe not everything you want, but some things just like Vegas. What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. Sometimes you just want that in the metaverse; it just stays in it. But then there's some other things that you'd like to transfer across, like value acquisition. If I get $1 million in the metaverse, oh, I would love that in the real world. That'd be great. It's not like play money; it turned into real money. It's like, wow, best Wizard of Oz ever.
Anyone else want to chime in? I feel like Nacho and I just kind of took that over.
Yeah, I want to go back to the naked pill.
You know what? I was going to say something earlier, right? We can have a very nacho-fied like space, since we have like different levels and stuff like that, where it's like verify your age, whatever. It becomes the nude beach. I don't know.
Well, if you take the pill, everybody has two sombreros on.
I am wearing 2 sombreros. I'm wearing two sombreros. That is not naked. Okay, so there you go.
It's naked adjacent. I guess it's actually partially naked based on your perspective.
Well, I guess you could just call it levels of clothing. How about that? You know, let's add in all those gray shades. So, yeah, the gaming, the avatars and things like that. Right now, yeah, what are we doing for the avatars? Let's talk about that. When you show up in the metaverse, how much control over what you look like will we have in the metaverse? What do you think? Are we picking like template characters, or what level of customization can people look forward to?
Oh, I didn't realize that I was muted and my screen share had stopped. Let me switch over to Clankercon. So here's an idea of some of the avatars that are available just from the Spatial store. I mean, these are the ones that are from Spatial. We have the ability to make our own custom avatars. So all of these that you see are essentially examples of what we could also be making. So it can have any style. It can be just about anything. So whatever.
So we need some cloaks, some people with cloaks, for some of the
Yes, we were looking at IRL cloaks. I was showing them the electro threads last episode.
Yeah.
But where are you, Ryan? I can show them the stick figure. That's the most sought after.
I was just about to bring that up. One of my favorites is Smoke's stick figure, because it's so fun to watch her run around.
It's like,
a few lines of the temple over here.
I don't even know where I am. Oh, all right, I'm gonna go find you. I'm just the ninja right now. I'll turn into the stick figure.
There's also some other customizations too, like different types of auras that can be created, even like accessories. Yeah. There's pets that you can do.
Nice. There you go.
So these are some of the ones that had been custom made in the past. Here's another classic. Something that this goes back to 2021. When Lynn and I started Ape News, when we were in the GameStop community, and we broadcasted every week as these characters. So I was an ape wearing a banana colored suit.
Senor Diamond.
Wow, that one's pretty dope.
Yeah, so we did like 20-minute segments of news every week, like as 3D animated avatars.
Yeah.
Yes, I was Jackie Tetas for anyone who gets that one.
Oh. Nice. So Paul, these are definite candidates for the Rift NFT for going through and saying, okay, great, here's something that you want to be able to collect. It could be the avatar itself.
Oh, that'd be sweet.
And also the Ready Player Me avatar system, and this is something that I really want to connect with the Player Zero project, because I know that they are out and about in the marketing spheres right now, and I just missed them in different spaces that I had been listening to. But yeah, the Player Zero team is also the Ready Player Me team, and they've got a new transition of their product happening right now from Ready Player Me to Player Zero, I think. So all of the dev logins and registrations are all locked down. So we're not able to integrate, in terms of getting little bits and pieces that work with the existing Ready Player Me system. So let me show you just a little bit about this Ready Player Me. If you go to customize.
So wait, you're showing us all the stuff we can't have? Is that what you're
doing? Let me show you everything that's not possible right now. But also, if we connect to Player Zero, then we might be able to get in here with these assets too. It's just we need to get into the registration that they have locked down right now, because
wow, that's a pretty nice jacket.
But yeah, the cool thing about that being that these assets are interoperable between different avatars, so you can have different shirts,
Sure.
with a different, same
the cloaks
face,
and stuff.
same, body, same shoes, but then different other options to make it more customizable. So we are going to be interfacing with Ready Player Me, or I should say Player Zero, because that's their new kind of brand. But as soon as they're through their transition, or as soon as we are able to get in front of someone who can actually get us through that gate of the registration, then we'll get that
Okay.
integration going for sure.
Do you think that would happen before before the Clankercon?
It could. I'm not
Happens
taking
before
off the
then,
table.
like-
I'm just saying that it's maybe like a 50-50 chance. So that's why instead of
I see. Okay.
yeah, that's
Okay.
why instead of doing the wearable shirt customization, we switched that to the wearable avatar, or the wearable aura, because the auras are things that we can do
Yeah.
easily within spatial. That here's an example of this one. Here's an example of this one. You know what I mean? So there's a lot of different options that you can do. This one is apparently an eagle. I don't know where this eagle is.
Yeah. So I love the idea of, because, again, going off of what Paul was talking about in terms of, a real world asset that can travel not only for the spatial, but between, let's say, different cons that we're doing or whatever. Maybe we end up having some other members game or something like that. Basically, when they go and buy the avatar, it is not just surviving in the Clankercon event. It's something that permanently can travel around with them at any metaverse event, right? And then, and again, that also can be secondary market stuff, right? You could flip your avatars, collect a whole bunch. Maybe you win it as a gift, in attending one of the sponsor activations, and it turns out that it's cool. Or we have the loot boxes where every once in a while you'd be able to open up a loot box and have a bunch of things, and hey, holy moly, look at this avatar, this is a cool one. Whether they keep it or they flip it, it's up to them, but it becomes something that gives people some interesting options.
Well, I think it'd be fun to have guild wear. I mean, I see all of the, especially I saw a lot of stuff at GDC. Wolf, was it the Wolf, Wolf DAO, and a bunch of other ones. And it'd be like, kind of cool to have, be able to do that, because there's something about you got this whole thing where you're sponsoring in Clankercon, but let's give more benefit. I mean, you can see them in Clankercon, you can see their booth, you can hear them talk, and all of these other things. But let's get them to interact outside of the space. I mean, hell, this even gets more exciting when you like GDC or any of these conferences. If you come there, you can actually collect something that actually gets stored into this NFT, that now when you go to this event in the future, you have access. Basically, you're proving your bona fides as a follower. I mean, everybody loves the clout,
No, I
clout
think
and the
it's great.
swag, right?
Oh yeah, I think it's great. I think it'd be pretty cool. And again, me, I love the idea of giving people other ways to purchase stuff. we make the whole world into a store where there's I can buy everything. Awesome. There you go.
Yeah, you can, if you buy a
Everything's for
katana,
sale.
then it makes these Japanese symbols come off of it, but it's not an aura, I don't think.
Yeah.
Oh, it is. Yeah, it's in the aura section. Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, so the
I think
aura
it's all
can make
pretty-
your character walk differently too, it looks like. So that's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why my little guy is always walking weirdly like that.
So good if you were naked wearing a sombrero hat. So
Yes,
that'll make you walk. That will
that's-
make you walk different.
I can imagine. I can imagine.
I don't walk. I just lay around. That's what I do. I just find a
Which
nice
I'm
beach,
not going to say I
hang
don't
out.
appreciate that. I mean,
Well, if I start walking around, I need to go to, instead of two sombrero ensemble, I need a three sombrero ensemble.
For the back, right? Yeah.
Well, the one on your head, the one on
Right
your
now,
head.
the
That's
sand
storage.
allows me to.
You're just storing it on your head for when you're laying down. But when you're up, you know.
You know, in real life, I actually have a big and a small sombrero, and I do wear one on top of the other one when I have to like move around. It's just simpler that way. You just put the small one on top of the big one. You go hands free.
I'd say turn on your camera, but don't do
that. No. I cropped my picture. Okay. I'm you know, I respect the audience.
Awesome.
Whoever's out there, you know, all that kind of stuff.
Well,
yeah. So some of the stuff that
I was about to say, I've gone ahead and hidden something in the space. Smoke, do you want to kind of talk about what prizes we might want to give away for this week for whoever finds something that has been hidden?
Yes, we will give away. Let's see, what should we give away? 25 in Kokoro, 25 in Dog, and 25 in Create Token. Does that sound good?
Yeah, let's do it.
Big prize this time, $75. So we have a lot of people listening in. It looks like 1,100 viewers from what I can see. So I think what we might want to do is drop the link to actually enter the metaverse into this chat here. So let me go and get that link.
Yeah, that should also be in all of the streams on all of our channels. So if you're watching, it should be on x.com/ownthedoge. If you look for the broadcast, it should say thecreators.com/Clankercon, like right there on the broadcast, and you should be able to get through right from there. But if not, it is thecreators.com/Clankercon.
Sounds good.
And yeah, I'm going to go ahead and hit publish on this here because this is looking pretty dope. So I want to have this for next time.
Cool.
I really like how the lighting effects work. It looks pretty good considering that, you know, the URP pipeline on Unity that we have to be working with is not anywhere near what Unreal Engine is capable of doing. You know what I mean? It's not capable. It's like in like the HDRP pipeline on Unity is really great. I love HDRP. I haven't been able to really work with it very much because spatial is URP, so I have to kind of work with this more universal pipeline. But yeah, like hold on, I'm also building, so my computer's probably is lagging. So I'll let you guys take the floor.
Yes, it looks really good. So Nacho, what do you think? Do you think it would be possible one day for Rift to somehow plug Unity into Unreal in an easy way, where Unity could benefit from
Unity and Unreal?
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like where Unity could benefit from some of that high def capability without being like, you know, turned into something different or overloaded from what that system is.
Well,
when I said you could put something on side A and anything on side B, you kind of thought way outside the box, like another planet. I mean, I like where you're going with it.
It's gonna happen one day. I'm telling you.
I like full immutability, right? I think it's awesome. I kind of hadn't thought that far.
I think it's possible one day.
I love it. I love
The
it.
ultimate
Believers,
interoperability.
baby. Believers.
No, I mean along those lines, like let's analyze kind of like the sentiment behind that request, because it is possible to have an interoperable platform that you can move between Unity and Unreal and maybe have the same character, the same you know, tokens available to unlock different things, have like interoperability between those platforms where it almost feels like you're not really leaving the site or the app or the game, you know. So that's kind of what we're building with the launcher, where like, you know, all the no code tools and all the different ideas that, creators and builders are able to put together. We want to be able to have as an interoperable, platform that, like, if you're building an Unreal game, it has like the same SDK within it that would have the same options to build games as within a Unity SDK. And so that, together, like if you're building games with this like on-chain base SDK, that way it'll kind of give you the ability to do just about anything in either game environment. So it doesn't really matter which environment you like, you still have the ability to publish on chain, seamlessly. And during the game night, we definitely heard from some very interesting projects, including one that I pinned to our chat that already has a Unity base SDK, and would love to kind of look into them and see what the capability is for us to just take what we've built here that is spatial ready, kind of just remove the spatial SDK and put this base on chain SDK, because that's actually feasible as kind of a standalone version of Clankercon now, if that SDK is already kind of out there. And I didn't realize that existed.
What are we talking about?
The one that we learned about in the game night tonight that they recommended to us. Do you remember the name of that? I put it in my in our admin chat. Let me just bring it up.
No, I think I probably wasn't paying attention because I was flapping my gums, right? So
how did that go, by the way, Jordan? Did you get a new sign up for the old Clankercon? Let's go.
A huge partner. Huge.
Really?
Massive. Yeah. One of the biggest platforms on base. Wow. I'm not going to say the name yet. I'm not saying the name yet.
Can you give us the first letter or something like that?
It starts with a C. It starts with a C.
Okay.
Yeah.
Give us a D.
But yeah, they're gonna do.
Hey
They're gonna do spaces with us. There's a bunch of different things they're gonna activate, and yeah, they're looking at all the packages right now, and I'm sure they'll get the sponsor. I mean, why not? Like, these guys are loaded. So yeah,
awesome.
It's gonna be good. Mm-hmm.
Very cool.
Yeah.
That's exciting.
Yep. Let's go. Yeah. So I'm very happy about that conversation I just had. Very happy.
Awesome. Great to see successful builders winning as they deserve to. And today has been really monumental. I want to say, I don't even know how many thousands of people have been through between the base live stream. It still looks like we have 1,100 here. And I know there were well over 2,000 during the base stream. So
yeah. Thank you everyone for tuning in and hanging out with us while we build Clankercon, and we look forward to having everybody that is here on the stream in that event with us. So, just a second, I gotta.
So on that note, I kind of want to close out the giveaway. We've got $75 in token. It's $25 in create, $25 in dog token, and $25 in Kokoro token. That is sponsored by Own the Doge. So big shout out to Own the Doge, the stewards and maintainers of the world famous Doge IP, for sponsoring Build in Public, every week, where we build the Clankercon 2025 to give you guys a little sneak peek of what's being built. I just want to give everyone the opportunity real quick. If you've not joined, we are starting the treasure hunt. Looks like we're kind of meeting out in front of the what is it called? The sundial in front of the temple. So if you guys want to,
let's go.
We're about to kind of start the starting trigger and let people start kind of exploring the environment and finding that treasure to be found for $75 in token rewards. So if you are not part of the environment right now, go to thecreators.com/Clankercon. We're going to give it kind of another minute or so for anyone who is just now clicking in. to load up the scene. And yeah, if you are here, we really appreciate you. We really appreciate you staying through to the end of the stream. I know that's been a little bit of a long one tonight because we had an extra kind of like an extra thing going on with base game night, so we kind of started early, and we're gonna go through till 6 p.m. or Central Time, 7 p.m. Eastern. It looks like so. Kind of another half hour here to like wrap up, and maybe we'll kind of wrap up a little bit after we finish. Whoever finds this this giveaway token here, but yeah, we're kind of wrapping up here. So if you guys want to be part of the end of the stream giveaway, it's thecreators.com/Clankercon. And yeah, we'll be kind of starting that here in the next minute.
This means hopefully you did not hide it in an impossible area where no one will ever find it again. Let's see. like one time.
No, like, so it's been progressively getting easier. The first day it was near impossible, and I had to give a bunch of hints because I thought I was being really clever by hiding it like really far out in the distance. But then like when I think about it, like what direction do you run in to like really find something in the distance? It's a huge map.
Yeah, it's a huge map. You're right. Yeah,
so it's like there can be some cool things that that you'll randomly find out there in the distance, I'm sure. But a lot of things are like the most important things will be like connected to a road system that we have in development that we actually won't be able to publish that road system until pretty much the end when we have everything laid out and we want to finally connect them together. But yeah, we've got a really cool looking post-apocalyptic road that can connect through to all the different areas here in the desert part, and then yeah, just exploring out into the wilderness is going to be a treasure hunt. You may not find something, but you may find something pretty cool out there during the event. So so speaking of treasure hunts, I think we're ready to get started. Let's see. Rafa and Anonymous Elephant. You guys are the two here in the space. Are you guys ready to begin?
Did you see what?
Are you gonna stream it? Because no one's sharing a screen.
Oh, yeah. Let me go ahead and share. Are you talking about the private chat, Jordan?
Yeah, I'm talking about the private chat. So I guess Nacho for some reason is like muted or it's not able to speak. I don't know. Something happened.
He doesn't seem to be muted on my side.
Okay.
Wow, I can't believe this. In your stream, I look like I'm just standing around, but in my stream, I'm floating. And I'm floating and flying in the sky on mine.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't know why.
Try rejoining.
Is there a way for me to share so I could show what it looks like on mine? I don't think I know how. Oh, well. I'll take a screenshot and show it to you guys. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
You can share if you want. It's in the share screen option.
I see the button at the top that just says share, and then it's like embed in website. And so I think I'm lost.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, let's not worry about that now, but I'll take a screenshot.
So yeah, I think we're gonna go ahead and get started. So go.
Yeah,
I guess.
Yeah. Let's go.
Yeah, like go, like start for some, yeah, there's $75 on the line. Anonymous Elephant and Rafa.
I'm just gonna go for fun. I have no idea where this thing is at.
Yeah, if you find it, then pretend that you didn't see it.
Yeah,
team is not allowed to win.
Yeah, definitely not. Okay, I'm gonna go up this ladder.
Yeah, Anonymous Elephant, if you want to get started hunting for the treasure, it's out here in the environment. It's something that looks off, something that looks different, something that looks like it doesn't belong, that looks very interesting. You can probably see it from a little bit of a distance too. So
Can you like a stick figure character?
It's not the stick figure. No, that's
It's me. That's a human being.
that's a human.
I
That's
am a
person.
prize, but not in the same way.
Hey, right, Nacho's back.
Oh, okay. Let me see if I
Oh.
can let you in. Here we go, Nacho. Can you are
Hello.
you able to speak and stuff now?
Nacho in the chat.
Hello. Can
Hey.
you hear me?
Nacho.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
you
you're
can hear
good,
me?
man. Yep.
Yeah, I don't know what was going on. It just didn't let you talk.
Oh, that's really smart. Someone just grabbed the low gravity power.
It's Rafa.
Yeah.
Rafa knows exactly the
Super
little hacks and
smart.
the sneaks and the tricks and the yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
like if you're in this space, you may kind of have a little bit of an idea of what we're building because you're here building it with us. You know, we're co-creating this together. So you know, Rafa remembered the power up from last week that was used to reach the base token that was hidden.
Yeah.
So he's using that now to do some speed exploration. Anonymous Elephant is kind of slow off the starting gate here.
Okay,
Elephants
I
are
got
not known for their speed.
low gravity is enabled, and I'm on my way to see where this might be.
Yeah, if you're watching and you're in the space and you are kind of just hanging out, there's $75 available if you find something that looks like a thing. You'll
looks like
know
a
when you see it. You'll know when you see it. And if you do see it, shout it out in the chat and like let us know where you're at in the environment, and we'll come and verify that you found it. Basically.
Yeah, I don't think you should be writing any riddles because was vague.
Yeah, no, that's the whole point. Because last time when I was giving hints, I think I gave too many hints.
Everyone just roast Ryan for the rest of the show until he rage quits the stream. Poor Ryan.
Well, he seems like such a nice guy. I don't think he'd quit. I think he would just laugh along.
No,
and then
he would just
and then
plot
he would,
against us.
and then he would just cry himself to sleep.
Poor Ryan. So sad. Crying Doge.
Apparently, I'm anonymous elephant. That's why.
Oh, you are okay.
Elephant wasn't doing anything.
Okay.
I was like, hey, wait a minute.
Oh man, we only got one. Yeah, Rafa, you're lucky, man.
That's like auto winning.
Catching in on these guys, like he has already won one other time, and it looks like he's gonna be the winner this time because he's the only one here. So if you guys
He stands alone.
Yeah, if you guys want to try to steal the championship crown from Rafa, the $75, come on in to thecreators.com/Clankercon. It's a virtual environment. You can run around. It's a little video game, WASD, standard video game controls. I think you can use the arrows too. Yeah, you can use the arrows too, actually.
Yeah, arrows work.
Yeah. And I mean, yeah, it's just, it's easy. Run around, find a thing. It looks like a thing. That's your hint.
It looks like a thing. Okay, hold on. So you're telling me there's a chingadera out there.
Yeah, there is a chingadera out there. That's the X-Files motto, is that the chingaderas are out there.
The chingaderas are out there. Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, dun, dun. Yeah,
I just watched the Chupacabra episode the other night.
Oh, nice.
Oh,
Nice.
did you?
I think I'm on my 6th time through all the X-Files.
Oh my gosh! Wow.
Like 12 seasons or 11 seasons or something. Man.
Wow.
So good.
I do
oh
love
my
the
God.
X-Files. I do. One of my love, I can watch it at any time. Is Stargate SG-1. Oh my gosh, I love.
Oh
Stargate.
yeah, dude! I just started getting into that last year, and I watched the movie and the first few episodes, and I'm like, oh, this is great.
Anybody an Expanse fan?
Yeah.
Oh man, I love Expanse.
watched
That
some
was
of that.
probably one of my favorite sci-fi.
I think it's the best. I mean,
Yeah,
of
it's so
everything,
good.
it seems so realistic, and that's another one where I've watched 6 or 7 times. But
I like watching the race the guy was going through because it talked about, basically it spoke to the physics of you go so fast and then you stop suddenly.
Yeah.
It's not pretty. It's not pretty. The human body wasn't meant to, suddenly go through rapid breaking.
Yes. Yeah, The Expanse is that. Yeah, that's one of the best sci-fi series ever made.
I mean, your
We
biggest
should,
weapon
you know
is
what?
just
We should
throwing
make
things
we
out
should
through
make
the
an
back.
Easter egg. We should make an Easter egg to Expanse somewhere in this.
Oh, that would be awesome.
Let's do it.
Have to think on that one. It's gonna have to. You know what it'll have to be? It'll have to be some glowing blue.
Yes,
goo.
yes, that's what I was thinking too. I was
Yeah, it's
thinking
got to
some
be like.
glowing goo.
Oh yeah.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
I see.
Hey, can we make?
Is that you?
What if we make a? Can we make a character like the? Oh man, what do they call them?
Oh,
The
when
aliens.
when they get all like infected.
Yeah, like the one kid that they made into the soldier.
Oh
Using
yeah.
the blue goo. I mean,
Yeah.
that would be so cool.
That would be cool. It's nice that I don't have fall damage.
Yeah,
Oh no,
where
normal
you go
gravity
up on a cliff or
resumed.
something.
Yeah.
How do you turn
Oh
on?
yeah, that power up only lasts for 5 minutes, so now you're kind of stranded out there.
Yeah, I'm
Uh-oh.
really stranded out here right now.
Yeah,
Oh.
you could just refresh. That might be faster.
I think I will.
I'm looking for our friend Rafa right now.
No, actually, I'm gonna endure the suffering of climbing this
There you go.
mountain.
Okay, yeah.
There you go.
Yep.
The 40 days and 40 nights in the desert.
Yes.
There you go.
There we go. Mm-hmm.
So I was thinking about the Unreal to or Unity to Unreal. So the time will come where you'll tell your AI to play the Unreal game and build, or play the Unity game and build the Unreal game.
No. You're one step behind because you saw the Google thing. You don't need a game engine. It's just a video renderer. You don't need the game engine.
But they were talking about like playing from Unity to Unreal, so you'd have it play the Unity game and then just build the Unreal version.
Those will go away. Basically, what was interesting was last year when Midjourney was talking about doing a game engine that to compete. That was basically the first inkling of where things go, where basically this video generation takes over for everything. And then now you have something that's ubiquitous. It could be a game engine everywhere. One for one thing that everybody could use, because working with game engine is tedious. When you just have jump straight to just have it render the experience, and you don't need the engine, it's easy.
Well, I watch a lot of movies kind of obsessively sometimes, and I always thought, well, wouldn't it be interesting if it changed every time you watched it? Yeah. And now that's possible.
Yeah.
So you could watch a movie. Can you imagine watching an M. Night Shyamalan, whatever the hell his name is?
That's how I pronounce it.
But something that's totally, screws with your mind, but it changes every time. And it understands the way he does it, and so it changes it along the same lines, but every time it's different.
We actually have like a few working ideas for that, right? Like Abante Productions, we're working on some storylines where you're able to do that.
Oh, that's awesome!
That's
I
cool.
love it. I just can't imagine like the obsessive watching of a movie, but it's different.
Well, here's the thing, because the generations are seeded, they have a random seed. I brought this up before. The fact is that when you have a generation, you're watching something, and it might be the cool way that it did it. If you save that random seed, because it might not be something that somebody else plays and look at the same thing, but you have the great experience, you save that random seed, and now this becomes the ultimate user-generated content. You could sell that seed to somebody, say, great, this is the one where I was watching Friends, and my episode had this, or I got it generating Game of Thrones last season, and it did it this way, and I love it. It's great how I put it together. You can save that seed, and then you could go and sell that to other people for them to watch. So in a way, you're doing your own. It's like being an editor, a movie editor, right?
Oh my gosh, I didn't even think about that part. It's like modding for like movies and film and TV.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
Wow.
you're
Oh my
getting your
God.
own generation, and it's a generation that played for you personally, but nobody else gets to see it until you save the seed and decide to share
Okay,
that with other people. Then they say, "Wow,
we have to
you
have
put
a
that in your
panel
Rift. That'd
on
be
this
awesome."
on this subject at Clankercon.
Yeah, I'm glad
Yeah.
you explained this again because I remember you mentioning this before and I didn't really get it at first, but like now I fully understand what you're saying is that like you would
Yeah.
have like the formula for
Mm-hmm.
this mod that you would make to like, whatever content, music,
Yeah.
game, movie, doesn't matter, like AI will be able to do anything in the future. So like you have the formula which includes like the various different models that were used, like the prompts that were used and the seed that was used. And then
Yeah.
that's like your recipe for, content.
Recreating it.
That recipe is very difficult to recreate if you don't know what it is. It is so
Exactly.
hard. So you cannot
Exactly.
do it. It's just like a Minecraft world being generated that's like a rare Minecraft seed that you'll never find again. And like those are already on the marketplace. Like the people already buy and sell
Yeah.
Minecraft seeds. So it's the same
Yeah.
concept. And now I'm getting you on that.
Exactly.
I love it.
Yeah, because the thing is that I've done this before where I'll see an AI image, I say, "Oh, I want to try doing a variation on that." And if you try to do the text, just the text part, you'll never get it there.
Yeah.
You want to get basically the seed and everything, the whole thing, the prompt and
Mhm.
all that stuff. But if you don't have that, it's really hard to get the same makeup. So that's the thing that can allow people to really have this feeling of property control and uniqueness, because you could start storing up these things. You could be watching the new Netflix would be something where you could have things that are just generated on the fly. And at that point, that show that you watched, you were the lucky one that saw the characters come together in a way that was unique and cool that nobody else got to see. And you're going, wow, this is cool. I need to share this with everybody, right? It's like being at a live concert and something happens. And then you say, I want to share that experience. Well, with the seed, you have deterministic, you have the ability now to replay that thing exactly. So, that becomes pretty interesting and possibly compelling. So then you could have a marketplace of these seeds. I got this version of this popular song, but it did such a great thing with the solo. It's awesome. I never heard this before, and you could be the one who owns that and shares that with other people. So,
well, Paul has got to run. Thanks so much for coming, Paul. It was really great to meet you, man. And yeah, absolutely want to hang out with you a bit more sometime on these streams, or we're going to be working together on making the ticketing work for Clankercon. So looking forward to it, man.
Yeah, I appreciate it, and I know we're going to come back for a be on the base builders, whatever thingy it was, and for Rift, and so look forward to being on that. And I do appreciate everybody here, and it's exciting to see this come together. I'm excited to be part of it, and I'm excited to see everybody using Rift. It's like when you build something, you get to see people using it. It's exciting, right?
Yes, a lot of people using it too.
Yes,
so
absolutely.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks, everyone. Take care. I'm out.
Thanks for coming out.
Bye,
Thank
friends.
see ya.
you.
Take care,
Bye.
brother.
Have a great weekend.
So on a side note, Goose, when you do that dance move over and over again, what happens in my head is
Yeah, pretty much.
That's what I hear.
So speaking of celebrating and dancing, Rafa has a lot to celebrate about right now.
Congratulations, Rafa.
Congrats, Rafa.
Yes.
Yeah.
Did it,
He
man.
found this icon of a broken computer terminal, which represents an inside joke about something that happened today as we were building. So fun times. Fun times. Thanks for coming by, Rafa. You get $25 in dog, $25 in Kokoro, and $25 in Create Token. All sponsored by Own the Doge.
Nice.
Thank you guys for coming out. Good job, Rafa. What a legend. Love
Yes.
your enthusiasm.
Yes.
Always coming out and chilling. You deserve to win. Thank you for supporting us. We really appreciate it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we absolutely do, man.
Well, I just wanted to thank everybody on the stream tonight. I know that we kind of like went a little bit late. We were planning on actually wrapping this up. I think about an hour ago. I don't know, but
Yeah, like 50 minutes ago.
yeah, it's okay. It's all right. We have fun. We vibe. We're just building in public. That's all it is. It's just like figuring out what the next cool thing is. And I mean, if I could just like real quick switch my screen back to something that we built today. We've got a really cool base billboard that was just built here. We've got a really cool I guess you could say it's cool alternate of that base billboard, which we'll be kind of putting out there. Yeah, I love how things like that just kind of come to us as we're on the stream, and we just make them, and then they're here. Now that it'll be here on the horizon of the environment next time we come through and do stuff in the space. So yeah, really
That's
fun.
awesome.
Yeah.
How about that, Ryan? Love that sign. Came out great. The lighting as well.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that lighting
lighting's
is
really
dope.
nice. I like that lighting. Yeah.
Yes, thank you.
Sexy lighting.
And I mean, let me bring up that other
Taking
one.
it to the next level at the end of the show. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah. What was it? Yeah, it was this one. I really like this.
Oh yeah.
Hilarious.
There you go.
Yeah, so join base. Just like I just want to like end the show with this message from our glorious leader. Join base. If you're a builder, if you're a creator, there's a lot of incentives and a lot of like great things to find on base. So yeah, really.
He's like, shut it down. Shut it down. We are not supporting Clankercon 2025 anymore.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. We're gonna we're gonna have to send the clip to Jesse.
Oh, it's fun when it's fun.
Oh my gosh.
And
so
it's
crazy.
always fun.
Yeah,
There
it
you
is.
go. How can it not?
So yeah, we're compressing the package, building it out. You guys will be able to see all these changes that we just did live in public. So come through to the space at thecreators.com/Clankercon, explore the billboard, take some photos, meme it out if you want to. That'd be fun.
Yeah, you could clank it, right?
Yeah, you can clank. You can clank it.
Clank
Yeah,
it.
absolutely.
Oh, there you go.
Clank the billboard.
Who's gonna be the first?
Yes, clank the join base billboard with Jesse. And yeah, guys, we really appreciate everyone who came out. Congratulations to Rafa for winning. Thanks to Own the Doge for sponsoring. Thanks to Base for throwing some attention to Clankercon and the Creators Directory. Getting game creators onto the Creators Directory. And yeah, like we look forward to doing this again with you guys. We'll be here next week. An existing ad operation is lock the workspace. Oh, right. Okay. That makes sense. That always happens. Not really.
Yeah.
We'll be here next week.
Virus activated.
Virus. Yeah, we just got a virus as we're building. Yeah. We'll be here every week until Clankercon. Clankercon is Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, May 29th to the 31st. And we'll be here every Friday at 5 Eastern. And we'll be building in public and showing you guys what the latest updates are that we're allowed to show. And we can't wait to release a lot of the stuff that we've been working on. It's
Things
a
are
lot
gonna
of
really snowball soon. You're gonna see
Yeah.
a lot of stuff coming really soon. Yep. So yeah, we really appreciate everyone coming. And Clankercon 2025 is gonna be quite the metaverse experience, and we can't wait to see everyone there. Have a great weekend, everyone.
Thanks for coming out.
Have a good
Bye,
weekend.
friends.
Yeah, thanks.